a good race, this, and they all look well. Every horse parading, and I've stuck with my numbers, 1, 4, 6 and 3. Dance Hero, just easing a bit on track, but now shortening. That's a good sign. He looked well. He's got the 2 alley, so I put him on top. 4, Matani, his form has been terrific here.
These runners coming up into the gates for the running of the Byrne Hart over the 1,200 metres. Might only be a field of 9, but it's a very, very good field just the same. And 3 to go, and they're racing now. Enthusiast to the inside began pretty well. Dance Hero got out okay. He's going forward, but Spark of Life will head them off, and Anwar's just behind them. Around the first corner, Spark of Life leads Enthusiast. Dance Hero in the middle. Primus is back to second last, and last of all, Matani at the 700 metres mark, and Dance Hero and Spark of Life, they're eyeballing each other now. They're 2 to Anwar, getting a gun run third. Enthusiast fourth on its inside, a length away, hard to catch, a little bit wide around the Jackal, and they're followed then by Matani and Primus as last as they corner to the 400. Spark of Life and Dance Hero, they're still going together. Anwar's been called upon, followed by Enthusiast. Hard to catch as next, Matani down the outside, Primus on the fence. Spark of Life kick beat off Dance Hero at the 200. Primus is going up on the fence, and here comes Matani. Matani out of the middle. The track went straight past Spark of Life. Then the Jackal hard to catch. Anwar battles hard, but it's all Matani. And Matani has won by 2.5 to Anwar second. Not sure about third, the Jackal or Tellum from hard to catch. The next time in the race, Spark of Life and Primus, and then Enthusiast, and Dance Heroes finished near the tail. Now, I don't know whether Scrivo's going to get into any trouble for that or not, but gee, talk about a lair. Have a look at this sustained look. Scriven on Matani. He knows he's got them beaten. He dashes straight to the left. Now have a look at this. One to the right. Now have a look at this one to the left. Now another to the right. We'll get to the left here. Now, where are the photographers? Where's the cameraman? Can anyone see me? Oh, it's bolted in. He's bolted in.
Unbelievable. This is a quote from Shane Scriven. I've never ridden one, seen one, or witnessed one like that. Shane had a big day out, and no bigger than that. Matani beating, well, everything. Anwar, Tellum, no point worrying about the rest, because he was in a different league. He was having his 54th start, his 17th win for Johnny Wallace there yesterday. Shane Templeton, we sat there watching the race and had a look at... hang on, is that? Yep, it is. It's Matani.
Well, you couldn't believe it. This is at the end of a high-quality sprint race. The horse is being eased down. Shane Scriven's going, take one of the horse, now take one of me. It's just an extraordinary win. Now, one thing I've decided after this race, and I wonder whether Richie will agree with this, these connections of Spark of Life and Dance Hero, they should make a pact that they never go around in the same race again.
I don't think it would have mattered yesterday, Richie. We all watched in awe of this performance. What did you think from Sydney?
I'm still looking at it and thinking it's only a fairy tale. It must be a myth. You're going to rerun the race again. I've never seen an easier win. I don't know how... I know the horse has been a good horse for a long time. But
in 2 Stradbrokes on Scalacci and Consular, and, well, this is what he said. He'll be winning the Stradbroke and I'll be riding him. Well, from what you see there, well, who's going to argue with Scrivo?
No, he might be the Karazi of Australian sprinters. He's just coming to his peak.
Well, look at this Shane here. He's having a look. And so,
we expected it to.
Races, but boy, I was terribly disappointed with the efforts of Spark of Life and Dance Hero. They were dreadful. You know, this race, according to the paper I have in front of me at the moment, they've only run less than 0.1 of a second quicker than the Class 6. Class 6 is down here as being run in 19.86 and the Byrne Hart Stakes in 19.78. I mean, did they go that hard? They went about as hard as a Class 6. Yeah. And those horses just...
Landane, it's Lasseron 100 from Raining to Win, Wester Carrow and then Snort on the 4th. Its second official run back from a spell. It's had a couple of barrier trials. First up, ran second behind Dan Lee at Royal Randwick in a 3-year-old over the 1400s, going to Strip Fitter.
The wins third last, and there's about 8 lengths between them in the first 100. Through they go up to the first 1200 metre marker, and Wester Caro, the leader, from Rebounded. by getting a long way back on the field, Jacaranda leader, then Sir Mione on the inside, followed by Northern Man, now reigning to win his third last. He's 12 and 15 from the leader, and then Karaji and I Silver. Westacaro at the crossing of the 600, one rebounded, Rahib third the outside, one Stella Mac, Fortin one, followed by Craigley Charm, Snort goes to Qualo, Take the Please, Satsang Lazaron, Jacaranda leaders next, and reigning to win, he's a mile from them. Boss gets him to the extreme outside. In the straight, Westacaro about to be joined by Rahib, then rebounded, followed by Fortin one, Stella Mac, and reigning to win coming down the extreme outside, but he'll have to come quick, and he is. Rahib is the leader. Look at reigning to win. Reigning to win, he's come from the tail. He's rounded up Rahib, and this is a run and a half. Reigning to win beat Rahib, Snort third, Photo fourth, Stella Mac or Satsang in front of Karaji, Lasseron Take the Plea, and last time is I Silver, and I'm here to tell you I will stand and salute this horse. He is something special. Ah, what a win. What a win. What's he here for? The Doomben Cup main term in the spring, the Cox Plate. I think that might be the long term. Oh, Boss was kind to him at the finish. And keeping in mind the horse he's beaten is a pretty good horse, let me tell you, Rahib. He sat up on him.
Farcicle's the finish of the World Cup cricket this morning. Running to win, soft in the end, coming from last. He'll go to the Doomben Classic now. Then he'll take on Desert War in the Doomben Cup. And on that performance, Shane, why couldn't he win?
You got me to talk through the last bit of that race yesterday. I couldn't lean wide enough to get him in the screen. I needed a big screen like the one they've got in the City Square. But I was reflecting on it last night after we watched those two amazing performances. And if this is, well, there you go. He goes out wide. I'll talk you through it, and then eventually he'll come in it. These Brisbane Carnivals often throw up these extraordinary performances that you just mark down for the future. Remember Ethereal's win in the Oaks.
Rough Habits, many wins.
Rough Habit. I mean, it just is another platform for extraordinary performances.
Well, this horse, of course, went there last year and won the TJ Smith at a mile at Eagle Farm.
Look, I think John O'Shea got it right there. We don't want to get too carried away. Look, he's a nice horse. I think he may have been a little flattered yesterday. Another race, they went mad. Everything fell into place for him, put it that way. He was cuddled out of the barrier, he found cover, peeled out and just exploded over the top of it.
I reckon you've been a bit tough on him. For a horse to win from the back there, of course everything's got to fall into place for him, otherwise they can't do it. But I think it was an outstanding effort.
I'm not saying it wasn't an outstanding.
I have to give Johnny...
there they are now, 350 on Super Tab, there they are now, 350 on Super Tab, 320 Unitab, Animado. It's the best back, 380 to 350. Devil Moon is out to 550, so the tote's okay there. Just Momont, well tried, $5 into 460. Its stablemate goes around here. Duras, take your pick, the rest.
Dynamics into the Schweppes Oaks. So Group 1 double coming up at Morfettville. This one will be followed by the Roberts Sangster Stakes. So it's certainly Marto from the Hayes stable here at $3.40. I was only informed this morning that David Hayes has never had a Group 1 winner out in Adelaide in his home state. That's an extraordinary fact. It really is. Tony
holds them. They're racing now. Juste Momont was out well on the inside. Cannell's got speed, showing some pace. Also was Indelible from out wide. Mahashakri coming over. So too Zingara and Devil Moon pressing on. Then Zeta Zest, followed by Delago Mist, caught out very wide, but on the improve around Old Nisto. On the fence now was Canned last from Motown Melody. And Animado sees the other 15 fillies, and the jockey's out 3 wide and improving by the 9. But it's 20 off the top. It's Mahashakri at the 850. 2 lengths on Delago Mist, 2 lengths away third, still on the inside Indelible of Zingara. The speed's been genuine, 2 behind it, Juste Momont from Devil Moon. Then there's a gap of 2 lengths to Zeta Zest and Cannell. This leader's got them running. Further back in the field, Princess Maritza inside of Senorita Delago Olnisto. Animado trying to come around the entire field is 4 wide, improving though from Classic Truce, then Nisha, Collodi, and last is Motown Melody. The Schweppes Oaks field comes around the turn at the 4, and Delago Mist went to the lead from Mahashakri. In turn Zingara, going back to the inside was Indelible, down the outside Animado. She's come from last, but she's now first at the 200. Devil Moon tries to rally. It's Devil Moon and Animato, but Animato's clear from Devil Moon. Then Cannell, Zeta Zest battling out the minors, but Animato puts up an almighty run to win the Oaks. Animato by a length, second Cannell getting out late, just over Devil Moon, and close up Zeta Zest. What a run, the winner, followed in by Indelible and then Zingara. What a win. What a great run. She's come from last. She was 20 off the lead at the 1200 metre mark. She's had to come around the entire field. A pure class act. Fair enough, she's dropping back to 3-year-old fillies at Group 1 level, but the way she did it was outstanding. Michael Rock now second.
Big race of the day, the Rolling Martin. Really looking forward to the second of the Group 1s.
Well, she looked a good thing. You rode like a good thing. Was that the instructions from David Hayes? First Group 1 in South Australia. There's a trivial pursuit question, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, there wasn't a real lot of instructions. You know, David was pretty much of the same opinion of me. The track's probably similar to Caulfield, so I just sort of snuck up closer to him on the turn, so I wasn't too far away, and yeah, she was just too solid.
Must be great to ride a filly like her and be able to do that and ride with just ease, you know. She just gave her an easy ride.
Yeah, I was just so relaxed going into the race yesterday.
This first Group 1 in South Australia, that's an amazing stat. But David's talking about going to America. Did you hear that talk yesterday for the Hollywood Oaks?
I've only read about it this morning, Bruce, so I don't know much about it.
You'd be a Hollywood man, wouldn't you?
I'd love to go over there. Passport's ready to go.
Gave them 20 length start and circled the field, and it didn't get cover at any stage, so it was an amazing win.
And also, it appears she may be going to Hollywood.
There's a chance. It's a 50-50 at the moment. She's invited. We've just got to weigh up whether we set her for the Caulfield Cup and go for a traditional spring preparation, or go for Hollywood and give her a light preparation.
All right.
Wow. Come a spot of bother at about the 300 metres last start.
4 and 6. Now, Group 1 racing coming up from Morphettville. It's the Robert Sangster Stakes. Universal Queen, who's a last start winner at this course and distance. She won the Alambi Stud Stakes over the 1200 metres back in that mini carnival, if you like, that they had a few weeks ago. Rawaya $7, Miss Mooney Mooney at $9.10, and there she is, Universal Queen at $2.80. She has been well supported during the week with TAB Sportsbet. Remember the day she won at Mooney Valley.
We're racing in the Robert Sangster Stakes, and beginning very nicely out wide Melrose Gardens, but going quicker underneath was Miss Mooney Mooney, and Universal Queen goes up to join it early. Catachuchu 3 out, makes the line of 3. Over on the fence was Nadiam's Glow from Lucky Diva. Getting back now, it is to go. Catachuchu given more rain, strode a length and a half clear. Second is Universal Queen outside of Miss Mooney Mooney at a length and a half. Nadiam's Glow wider out Lucky Diva, followed by Melrose Gardens outside of Media. Rawaya on the rails, followed by Brindabilla. Hannah Rossa reshuffles, taken deep from Flying Object, and back at the tail, Zip and Ease around the turn. It's Catachuchu joined by Universal Queen. Universal Queen put the head in front of Catachuchu. Miss Mooney Mooney third from the Diam's Glow. Down the outside, running on fairly well was Media, but it's Universal Queen the leader from Miss Mooney Mooney. Rawaya sneaking home on the rails. Deeper out Media, still Universal Queen. She's going to defy them, Universal Queen. She won by a length. Second Media a length. Third Flying Object coming up late for third. Just over Melrose Gardens. Close up Nadiam's Glow, Zippanese and Hannah Rossa. Rawaya didn't finish off late. Finished with Catachuchu, followed in by Miss Mooney Mooney, Lucky Diva, Brindabilla, and reshuffles amongst these tail enders in 108.3, if you don't mind. 108.3. It is not a record. It's .09 outside of Navy Shakers 108.21 when the track was a...
Friedman's unbeaten record intact in that race. Ellie Corsam last year, a Lingy the year before, have been his fillies and mares that have won the 3 Robert Sangster Stakes for him, 12, 2 and 4.
Just brilliant Universal Queen. Michael, you rode Catachuchu there from a wide gate. You got over it, a little bit of work, but gee, she was brilliant, Universal Queen.
Yeah, she was. Like you said, I had to use my mare up a little bit too much early, and it was sort of told in the straight. But yeah, she just travelled up to me. Corey couldn't hold her slow enough when he went past me on the turn.
What are you sort of saying? You're talking about sledging? What are you sort of saying? Come back.
You thought this apprentice had gone a bit too soon?
Yeah, I'm thinking, who's this taken off so early? So yeah, it was Corey. He's just going too easy.
Richie, you know this horse, Universal Queen. Hasn't Lee transformed her into a brilliant, fresh 1200-metre horse?
Yeah, look, I think Lee's quickly worked her out when she was heavily back that day at the Valley, Bruce, and then he stepped her up to...
A very, very good sprinter. We can all say that with some safety now. She's, you know, up there with the better quality sprinters around at the moment. But I'm sure that the stable thinks that they haven't got her anywhere near right yet, so I think there's a bit of improvement in her, which is, you know, a bit of a frightening prospect, seeing she's trounced this field pretty well, you know, after sitting up on the pace.
Yeah, look, I don't know if she was on. She looked on a game to me. I've never seen her come out running and travel so sweetly in such a sprint race, obviously.
18 minutes away from the Nakayama Grand Jump. There he is, Karazi. $4 he's paying at the moment on the New South Wales TAB. $2.60 on Super.
This race, they'll be running the Grand Jump. We'll all be watching and cheering for him again, the old bloke. So that's 8 minutes away. It's due to jump about 4 minutes after our race here.
In 2 minutes, Karazi is the favourite on the Australian tabs, as you'd imagine, the 12-year-old at 3.10. Personal Drummy's stablemate, currently at $8.
Is that the horse has been going there, so tremendous pointers toward Karazi doing the unthinkable and winning this race 3 years in a row.
Of course, Personal
The gates are back, away they go, and walking out of the gate was No Hero. The rest got away pretty well. Personal Drum slow away as well. They come to the first corner. After the first 150 metres, Storm Seco over that easily with Telegenic. On its outside is Mount Fountain. Back inside them is 3 Operator. Phantom Suzuka. Out wide is Capital Gain. And we've lost one already. The 5 as we see them. They'll go down the first dip, and I'll let you know that some parts of this race I can't see them because they go behind a huge television screen. But leading the way is Storm Seco from Mount Fountain. Another further length back to Storm Seco. And Karazi's made up good ground along the inside there, and storming out wide is No Hero. Once again, they go out of my view. Just a reminder, we lost one at the first jump. And that was Agnes Hatt. It's 3 Operator. Karazi now sweeping up 4 wide as they come to the next one. Over it cleanly. Jumping it nicely. They all got over that one fairly well. Still well back is Tosho Trick and Capital Gain, and they've also dropped out, but it's still 3 Operators. They go past the grandstand once again. Karazi's really moved up nicely, running in second. Outside it is Storm Seco. Then a gap back to nicely in front. One of the fancied runners in the top 5, but Karazi's tracking it. Out wide, Storm Seco is still there. Real Tonic's making up ground along the fence. And moving forward is Reward Present. They swing up to the top of the hill. In the middle, moving nicely is No Hero. A gap back to Real Tonic. Then Mercy A Time trying to pick up the pace. Losing ground is Telegenic on the fence with Phantom Suzuka. Now Personal Drum takes off from the back. Back further is Capital Gain. Then a Major O'Hustler at a long last 5 lengths away and struggling is Tosho Trick. Well, they've only got a couple to go over. They go down this long sweeping run down the back straight, and taking it to the front is Mercy A Time, the Japanese fancied runner. Karazi is on the inner. Out wider and moving forward is Storm Seco. Then a gap back to Phantom 2-3 Operator losing ground, had the early lead. Making up quick ground from the back of the field is Personal Drum, then Reward Present. Real Tonic losing ground. No Hero also. Phantom Suzuka, then a gap to Major O'Hustler. Further back came Mount Fountain. On its outside is moving up is Capital Gain. Then Telegenic, and a long last is Tosho Trick. Well, they've only got one more to get over. It's Karazi hit the lead from Mercy A Time. Karazi at the top of the straight. Mercy A Time going head and head. 3 Operator back on the fence. Running on nicely. Storm Seco. Real Tonic's there as well. And Personal Drum. But Karazi gets over, stumbled slightly. But he's kicking away. It's Karazi going for 3 in a row. Karazi and Brett Scott looking like a human tightrope as he winds up. Karazi running home late. His Reward Present. Karazi dying on his run. Is he going to get there? Yes! Karazi, Reward Present, Mercy A Time, then a gap further back to 3 Operator. Storm Sentinel, Tosho Trick, but stand up for the Aussie Karazi. For the Aussie Karazi. For the Aussie Karazi. For the Aussie.
What a super performance there, Karazi. 3 Nakayama Grand Jumps in a row there, and what a great ride. Look, he just spaced. Hello, Flyer. Camarilla still get.
This past week, well, over the past 3 years, has been Karazi. He's 12. A 12-year-old, and yesterday he did a Maccabi Diva-like performance to win his 3rd consecutive Nakayama Grand Jump. The race today, they were cheering at Moonee Valley, they were cheering at Randwick, and I'm sure they were cheering in Japan. I'm sure they're still saying cheers, as we say. Shane, this is a great story. This horse started off in England with Sir Michael Stout. He won his first start in a race in 1998 at Brighton. Walter Swinburne rode him.
By 30 lengths.
Yeah.
2,400 metre race by 30 lengths. He came to Australia. He's run a placing in a Brisbane Cup, Adelaide Cup, 4th in a Melbourne Cup. Then he started hurdling and took to it pretty well, even though early days he couldn't jump at all. Eric said it's one of the worst jumpers I've ever had in the stable. Just couldn't jump. Just didn't know what he was doing at all.
If he doesn't hit that last hurdle, I think he probably wins big 4. He took a lot out of him that last hurdle when he crashed through it, but didn't he show some ticker to keep on going? For that split second, the camera angle switches away. I thought he may have fallen, and when you go back to the watch, God, thank God he's still there.
And Bruce, Brett had his favourite witness at the Valley, and we got a bit of stick for it too by starting Karazi with Maccabi Diva and Red Rum. But you think about what he's done 3 in a row. Maccabi Diva did it at home, Red Rum did it at home. He's done it 3 times on the other side of the world at 10, 11 and 12.
It's extraordinary, Wayne. You heard that.
Good morning, boys.
Well, good morning to you. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm just a little bit shaky this morning. I was night last night, as you can imagine.
Eric, that is incredible. The Grand Jump, the richest jumping race in the world, 3 times in a row. He's a legend, this horse, isn't he?
Yeah, no, the fantastic was done a great job for us. And, you know, look, he just keeps getting better with time. Like, he's a real workman. He loves Japan, and, you know, he's just beautifully written by Brett again, and it was a big thrill. No, they told me yesterday.
Eric, it's a top.
Eric Musgrave.
Graham, I reckon this is our best international achievement ever. We've sent horses to Royal Ascot. We've sent them all around the world to win. But this is our proudest moment. I know that we don't have jumps racing all around Australia, but this is fantastic.
No, I kind of agree with that. I think it is the greatest international performance.
For sure. And Andrew, you said yesterday it wasn't as relevant in Sydney as in Melbourne because that's the jumping capital. But I tell you what, Randwick did erupt yesterday, and not many people missed the race.
No,
and Gold Edition, of course, the 100 rating special for the Guineas over Grand Reeve, Magic Tristan, Dan Lee. 12 a special, 2 8 proceedings here. Scenic Silver's been most impressive in Victoria, 10.
Above herself in the condition, I haven't seen her looking as fresh as this, but in saying that, she's in great shape. I still think she's going to be too good for him.
And they're off and racing now. Party Goer began only fairly out of the gates, and the first to go was Magic Tristan. There goes Gold Edition coming over quickly from out wide. And when they reach the first corner, Brasco's driving through and Grand Reeve's going fast. Gee, there's power aplenty at the 900. Gold Edition hits the front. Grand Reeve goes to second. Magic Tristan and Prince Leo a long way back on the field. Then came Dan Lee, and it's also wide, followed by Cruscat, Miller's Wheel, and last is I'm a Joker. Gold Edition at the 500, 1 to Grand Reeve, 2 Magic Tris, 1 Ferocious, 1 Brasco, 1 Sequential Charm, Dan Lee deep, followed by Secon, Scenic Silver. Gold Edition at the 300, got away, 2 Grand Reeve, Ferocious on the outside from Brasco, Sequential Charm, and then Prince Leo, but Gold Edition's a mile in front inside the 200, she's opened up, out by 3, Grand Reeve in second spot, Dan Lee and Prince Leo late, but here's win number 14 for Gold Edition. Gold Edition beat Grand Reeve, Dan Lee third, Prince Leo fourth, then Sequential Charm, followed by Cruscat, Ferocious, I'm a Joker. What a filly. What a filly, Gold Edition. Get out all the dictionaries and look for adjectives. There'll be plenty there, and there won't be enough to describe her. She's amazing. What time she run? 1:8.44. She has smashed Fashions of Field's race record. The previous best was 1:8 course record. And she had to do some work. They went fast and they went hard.
Cool. Yep. I was just about to say, could Gold Edition be in contention for Horse of the Year now?
Probably not. She probably...
Why not?
Well, she got beaten by Miss Andretti, you know, on their merits. And, I don't think she could topple Miss Andretti for the best sprinter in the country at this stage, no matter what she wins in Queensland, because it's only against the
Why ask him, Graham? Why ask him?
Well, I'm just trying to be objective here.
She's...
she'll have a look at it. But she
third, Prince Leo fourth.
Yeah, look, she's just an out-and-out freak, though. She's a champion filly, every word of it. To do what she does so effortlessly, the only other horse I can probably put in her category as a cruising speed would be Might and Power, where one was a star and one's a sprinter. But to be able to do what she can do so effortlessly is remarkable.
Jimmy, she held a record, a race record time. Grand Reeve second, Danley third. Would she be heading to the Doomben 10,000?
Oh, you'd say so.
No, you'd reckon.
And then maybe even the Stradbroke. What happens if she wins both of them? Is she Horse of the Year?
No, because she's
okay, no.
She has. She met Miss Andretti, got given weight and got beaten.
Look, I've never backed her in my life, and I've always been opposing her, but what can you say about her? She's an absolute gem. It's just so genuine. She pours the speed on, and she has the hide to kick.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. People will now ring up and email in saying, "You're bagging Gold Edition."
You are.
She's a fabulous filly. She's an absolute superstar.
A couple of other runs in the race. Dan Lee back to 1200 there. He thrives in Queensland. Chance in anything he contests. And I like
Today, no doubt, is the running of the weight for age Hollandale Stakes at Group 2 over the 1800 with the mighty war horse Desert War. All the rage here at $1.40. Let's head to Alan.
The gates open and they're off and race. Oh, he's missed the Desert War. He's come out second last. He's back with the cat catchers when they hit the ground. Well, this will be interesting. There's the first shock. Now, Omni Trader began brilliantly from out wide and he's raced to the lead. Now in second spot, De Beers, followed by Gaze. Oh, Drax back, nearly fell going around the corner and there's all sorts of trouble. Desert War's taking off from the back. Now let's take stock. It's all happening in the first 400. Omni Trader down the back of the track leads by about 5 lengths. And last of all, Spirit of Tara at the 900 metres mark. Omni Trader out by 6. Gaze second, 7 lengths away to Beers, 4 to Coalescent, 1 to Desert War. Ollie's getting a little bit anxious. He's asking the big horse to go. 2 lengths away, Drax back, and they're followed by Art Success, Grand Zulu, and then Lachlan River upstage, Shin Zeke, Brave Lancer, and Spirit of Tara. They're coming to the bend, 500 metres to go. Desert War's under the whip. He's about 8 off the lead, and he's under the hammer. They're coming around the bend. Omni Trader, 2 lengths to Gaze, 6 lengths away to Beers, Coalesce, followed by Desert War. Drax back's gone past Desert War. In the straight to the 300, it's Omni Trader. He's 3 lengths to Gaze. Coalesce on the outside, and now Desert War's coming from the back. Omni Trader the leader. Coalesce, and now Desert War. Drax back on the outside. Coalesce went to the lead. Drax back trying to get to Coalesce, but it's Coalesce in front. Coalesce went at a nose. Drax back. Desert War third. 4th home Grand Zulu in an action-packed Hollandale. Behind those we've got Lachlan River. Further back. Well, it happened from start to finish. There's the winner. Second goes to number 11, Drax back, Mark Zara. He'll have a story to tell going around the first corner. I don't know what happened, but he probably...
Oh, that's Darren Beedman, Drax back and Desert War, and 2 Grand Zulu.
Third, but excuses for both second and third.
There sure were. More so for the second horse, Drax back, who got knocked over about 400 metres after the start, hit the running rail and really could have ended up out of the race altogether, but he got himself going again and he
too smart here. He just rode the race, had the timing perfect, didn't worry about the tearaways, and the ride won the race. Drax back, he just overreacted. It looks like he got knocked down. It's a habit of his. In weight for age races, when you get to these fast races, he's left out the back. And watch at the front here, Drax back in the black and white.
He's running third at the moment, isn't he? See, one comes across and...
Yeah, no, it doesn't. When you read the steward's report, he just hits the fence.
I don't know about that. It looked like it came across to me.
The steward's report says he just hits the fence and overreacts. Look, it's his first way.
And Richard couldn't really tell from that.
Pillaging. Sacred Kingdom goes back to the inside. Ada Kali goes now to the leader, Natural Blitz. Regency Horse, and here's Sacred Kingdom rattling home to the inside. Here he comes. Sacred Kingdom went straight past them. Regency Horse up into second. Then Natural Blitz, Ada Kali, but here's a big win for Sacred Kingdom. Bolted up from Regency. On together with Helene Pillaging. Sacred Kingdom goes back to the inside. Ada Kali goes now to the leader, Natural Blitz. Regency Horse, and here's Sacred Kingdom rattling home to the inside. Here he comes. Sacred Kingdom went straight past them. Regency Horse up into second. Then Natural Blitz, Ada Kali, but here's a big win for Sacred Kingdom. Bolted up from Regency Horse.
Wow. Look at the time. 1:07.8. That equals Absolute Champion's track record. He is a serious international sprinter in the making, this 3-year-old. First time at 1200. I think all his other runs have been down the straight at 1,000 metres.
By Costa de Lago.
Yeah.
What a special sort of horse. When they can do that, that's just... That's real.
Pointed him out once before. He trialled in Sydney for Clary Connors.
Yep.
Looked the real thing there, but he's producing the goods now.
Now, the big day, of course, today is at Morphettville, and Super Sunday. There's the Tab Sports Bet odds for the Goodwood boys.
Yeah, like, this is going to be a fantastic race, Graham. It always is, and you see Royal Ida up there. Look, he's not the sort of horse...
Sharp heads in at $3.50.
Again, Laser Sharp comes off the St Ledger performance, which was simply awesome as far as...
$40, it's been well supported just in the last 2 or 3 minutes of betting. Family Guy number 3. It's firmed in a point just while that Hong Kong race was on.
In 2003. So Scalahad in a blue cap. The AV Jennings SA Derby field is ready here at Allen Scott Park, Morphettville. We're right to go. Group 1. Cover 3 wide from Vicello Minibar. Laser Sharp starting his run. Then Tolderol Tea Party. Red Lord taken wider, dropping out alarmingly Delusion. It'll be lucky to finish, passed by Exalted Thomas. Then Deledio, and last of all is Grand Destiny. 600 metres to go, and Sir Scalahad went to the lead. Classic Delago got there cheaply on the outside and hit the front at the top of the straight now. It's Classic Delago, but Laser Sharp's tracked him forward. He's about to unleash his spread. Red Lord follows him home. China Causeway still there at the 300 in the Derby. It's Classic Delago a length to Laser Sharp coming after him. Then Red Lord, China Causeway. They've drawn clear of Vicello and Grand Destiny. It's Laser Sharp hitting the lead from Classic Delago. Laser Sharp, Classic Delago fights on. Red Lord trying to come between them, but it's Laser Sharp in front, and Laser Sharp takes the Derby by 3/4. Oh, close for second. Oh, look at dead heat, can't separate these. Classic Delago and the lunging Red Lord. Photo 4th, Vicello and...
Do you, well done. Thanks, Alf.
Hey, Jamie, just before you go, what's the process now? We've heard that this horse has already been sold. That's not right at this stage?
No, it's not, Andrew.
Ready?
Well, he won this...
As well as the favourite here. Media already eased a couple of points on track, though, for the Goodwood. Let's get the jockey on, Zach Burton.
Zach filled in for Corey Brown today, and you'd be pleased.
Yeah, things have gone well. I've been able to ride a winner and a couple of placings there, so I'm happy with my day so far.
We'll have that third number on screen shortly. Well, the Goodwood's only minutes away here, and I can tell you that Royal Light has been heavily supported in the last 5 minutes. $5.50 on the tote is very good value. It's the crunched-in favourite, number 3, Royal Light, repeating the positive move all the way along has been for Mind Your Head. It's still value on the tote at $9.50. The Goodwood is coming up live on Sky.
Will racing in the Goodwood. Bold Line began fast with Tesbury Jack changing eyes and Media mustering underneath them. Away well was Joker's Wide. Real Shuffles getting up on the inside. Showing speed is Tarango, and not far away is Beldonoro. Nadim on the inside, then Chablais, followed by Orange County. Mind Your Head back and wide. Then Saspy, Royal Lighter, Amy J. Power, Stick Pin from Flying Object. And last of all, the second last is Cochinero, and Canlago's out the rear. Bold Line crossed from 20 and led 6.50 out 3/4 Tesbury Jack. Media box seating third from Changing Eyes, then Tarango being followed in the centre by Beldonoro, then Let Go Tomo. Mind Your Head wide from Reshuffles. Nadim on the fence, then Chablais, Royal Lighter from Orange County. Joker's Wild the centre, then Stick Pin. Saspy scrubbed up on the fence from Flying Object, turning for home in the Goodwood Handicap, and Tesbury Jack raced to the lead. Media got out with a clear run down the outside. Let Go Tomo's coming home well, then Mind Your Head and Royal Lighter right down the centre runs on with Stick Pin. Tesbury Jack from Let Go Tomo. Royal Lighter, Mind Your Head boxing on. It's still Tesbury Jack. Let Go Tomo diving late. It's Tesbury Jack, Let Go Tomo, and a great finish. Leave it to the judge between Tesbury Jack and Let Go Tomo. Royal Lighter probably third, Photo 4th. Media out wide, Stick Pin's right there. Closing late, Cochinero, and on the inside, Wild didn't finish off from Changing Eyes and Flying Object. Back with those tail enders, 109.36.
Well, we're going to stand by for all numbers here. Tesbury Jack getting to the lead, finding plenty, and the WA horse, Let Go Tomo, has lunged. We're going to stand...
They leave the back and go into the far bend at the 1,000. At long last, arch the neck and prick the ears up in front for Scallon. Leads a length and a half on...
You know, this is what racing's all about. We were here today just to come and experience the thrill of a Group 1 race. You know, it was great to come anywhere today, and we won this race. It's unbelievable, you know. But thank everybody that's been involved from day one.
Terrific trot the Kiwis are having here today, and G.I. Jane is the New Zealander in the next race. The last horse to win back-to-back BTC Cups was Bucks Pride, who did it back in 1993 and 1994. He was ridden by Shane Scriven on both occasions, and Shane's got a good chance himself this year.
And you look...
I'll leave it up to the professionals. Okay. And what's the plan for him? The plan for him? After today, there's another run in him up here before he heads abroad?
Yeah, we'd like to come back for the Doomben 10,000. It's going to be a bit of a push if we're going to go to England. That's on the 26th, then we depart on the 29th from Melbourne to England, so we'll have to try and organise a plane from here.
Number 7, they're about to move in. Takeover Target, the tote favourite. Larry Olsen's with me with some final comments on the BTC Cup.
Off and racing now. Takeover Target began only only fairly, and Bentley Biscuits out the back. He's last. Spark of Life from the inside was the first to go. Fast and Famous is outside him, and Takeover Target's going through to split them, running to the first corner. Lad and Bentley Biscuits 2 off last. At the 700 metres mark, and it's Spark of Life by 1. Fast and Famous second, 2 to Takeover Target, a length Matani travelling fourth on the rail. Magically outside him, followed by G.I. Jane, Black Ink, Any Suggestion wide, and then Daunting Lad and Bentley Biscuit on the fences last. At the corner, 400 to go. Spark of Life by a length and a half. Fast and Famous is second, 2 lengths away. Takeover Target, Matani, G.I. Jane, Magically, and then Black Ink, Any Suggestion, Bentley Biscuit. Spark of Life in front, coming to the 200. Here's Takeover Target coming after him from Fast and Famous and Matani and Bentley Biscuit, but Takeover Target race to the lead. Bentley Biscuit's coming after him. Bentley Biscuit's going to grab him. Bentley Biscuit got up and beat Takeover Target. Matani is third. Fast and Famous might be fourth in front of G.I. Jane, Black Ink and Spark of Life. The next time, Daunting Lad, followed by Any Suggestion, and last time is Magically, and it's come from last, Nash Ruilla, right along the fence on Bentley Biscuit to get up to win the BTC Cup.
Well, amazing performance. Not too many horses can run down Takeover Target like that.
No, but hopefully he'll do that at Royal Ascot in the Jubilee. It was really wonderful. When he was out last, it didn't worry me. I could see what had happened early, and I thought he's got such a brilliant turn of foot, and I knew Nash knows him down to the ground. I think he might have just bought the ticket for Nash to England, don't you? Through Group 1s.
Surely there must have been a few nervous moments when Takeover shot.
2 children, and I said, no, I said, Dad's got this under control, and I said, he's got the rails run, and I just knew he'd be able to turn the tap, and that's exactly what the Biscuit does. He's so exciting, isn't he?
Jane, but you take nothing away from the Bentley Biscuit. That's 3 Group 1s for the Biscuit now,
yes.
And Nash Ruilla has ridden it on each occasion.
Yeah, the All-Age, the TJ Smith, and now the BTC Sprint. But yeah. Nash, I wanted to ask you, you had to pull him...
The thing that's evident is the horse is just a competitor. He knows he's in a race. I think he's better back in the field anyway. He's always been a chaser and always will be. His winning strike rate says it all. He's won, what has he won? 12 races out of 18. He's only been placed twice. The key is, can he travel overseas and do the same thing? We know Takeover Target is a great traveller, and he's been there and done it. So it all goes well for a fantastic race in England.
He's never been beaten at the distance, Takeover Target. Sorry, Bentley Biscuit. He's had 5 goes at 1200 and he's won them all.
He's just a great horse.
Of the others?
Great horse.
I believe he has. All reports he's done very well up here, though. Bit of sun on his back.
The last. Now, moving in here at Doomben, very well backed reigning to win. He's the clear favourite, Yasamori and Rahib next.
They're off and racing now. Running to win began only fairly. He's going to drift back towards the inside, and the first to come out was Ready When You Are. Rebounded began okay, and Lasseron's going to hold a forward berth in front of Sermion and Gale and Super Smudge. There follows out 3 deep, a length and a half to Couragey, 3 deep around Yasamori in the middle. Reigning to Win's trying to sneak up on the fence, followed by Thundering Girl, Fort and 1, Take the Plea, and Doug's Mate. At the 700, Ready When You Are, and rebounded by 2. Galen races third, 2 lengths away. Lasseron, Super Smudge, Take It All. Rahib is going through on the fence from Sermione, Couragey, followed by Yasamori. Now Reigning to Win's in an awkward spot. He's a long way back. He must be running about 10th as they come around the home turn, and Boss will need some luck. Into the straight, Ready When You Are the leader. From rebounded Lasseron, Galen came at them, so did Rahib, and Reigning to Win just steadies, eases to the outside, and he's about to come. Rahib went to the lead with 100 to go from Lasseron. He's Reigning to Win on the outside. Rahib and Lasseron, Reigning to Win's gathering them in. He grabs the lead, and Reigning to Win got up to beat either Rahib or Sermione, which ran on well. Lasseron's run fourth. The next time in the race then was Doug's Mate. Fort and 1 ran home okay from Thundering Girl, Couragey. It's amazing how confident you can ride when you have faith in the horse underneath you. And Boss has tremendous faith in this horse, and he rides the horse accordingly. He has tremendous faith in this animal, and he'll now challenge Desert War and Company in the Doomben Cup next Saturday. And it's a promoter's dream, isn't it? Desert War, the champ, the Mike Tyson of the field. And here comes the up-and-comer, the youngster on the block, Reigning to Win, and there'll be other horses there to make them all honest at the finish.
He's got gears, you know. I'd imagine I got to about 3rd or 4th, and he just cruised up
He gets to him effortless.
He gets to him with no ease, with a little bit of ease. Once he gets there, he switches off, which is a bit of a problem because he's come out of his Cox Pedals because, like I said, he's going to be thrown to the wolves next week.
Next week, of course, being the Doomben Cup. Well done, Bossy. John O'Shea reigning to win over Rahib and Sumio and getting home.
Look, brilliant win. Horse is going fabulously up there, and Johnny O'Shea has looked after him beautifully. He's getting the right result. Almost an arrogant ride.
Well, his last name's Boss.
Well, and I know Glenn's a very
arrogance his middle name.
I know Glenn's a very confident rider.
Bitten Roses, and we're going race 6 here at City Pacific Doomben, the Daily BTC Sprint. This is shaping up as a nice race, and the two they've backed here on track is Anwar and Friday Creek. My numbers are 7, 6, 2 and 14.
Hooker Road. Racing, Anwar from the outside was the first to go. Vocalic began quickly, so did Friday Creek. And Son of Dane's driving through, and when they go through the first 150, it's hard to find a leader. It might be Anwar just in front of Vocalic, followed by Son of Dane driving through. Enrique and Legendary Man at the 600, and the leader is Anwar and Hector Vocalic. It's Son of Dane third in the middle on the fences. Tell them as they come to the home turn from Maasai Pride. Now the Jacqueline Friday Creek, they're peeling out deep for Lace, taking the shortcut. Then Amex and Mr. Hornblower, Storm Hill and My Sunday into the straight to the 300. Anwar and Vocalic led. Son of Dane coming up on the outside. Maasai Pride, Friday Creek. Mr. Hornblower came at them and tell them towards the fence. Anwar tackled by Son of Dane, Friday Creek, Mr. Hornblower. Enrique's coming down the outside. Friday Creek, Mr. Hornblower, Son of Dane. The three of them hit the line. Friday Creek, I think. Friday Creek, I think, and knows Mr. Hornblower or Son of Dane in a big finish. Photo fourth. Amy J. Powers in there with Tellum. Double Dares close up for Lay's Legendary Man. Storm Hill's pretty close up there as well. Just behind those, the Jackal. They're followed then by Anwar. Further back in the field, find a page Enrique, Maasai Pride. Amex a long way back, and they're followed then by Vocalic. And last home in the race is My Sunday. Number 7's the winner, Friday Creek.
And Mr. Hornblower and Son of Dane. Gee, it was a very good run. First four, 11,000 odd on Unitap. Doomben Cup. Can it be the grand stayer in Desert War or the grand old horse Desert War up against Reigning to Win, which is, strangely enough, not in the ratings. Won a special ahead of 4 Calais. Desert War at $2.40. Doomben Cup, we've got $2.90 for Reigning Win. So quite unusual there that the 3-year-old is not in the ratings, but it's the outright second pick on the top. Desert War's the Sky Raider and Top Tote, $2.20. Got the flip of the coins just a...
And they're racing. He left okay today, Desert War. Reigning to Win began okay, and so too did Gaze. And when they settle fully into stride, Chinque Chento's going up towards the lead. And when they settle down, Chinque Chento and Gaze led, and there's Desert War striding up 3 deep at the line the first time. Lachlan River's going to settle fourth, and Reigning to Win has come away from the fence. He's racing in 5th position. Grand Zulu 2 to Lachlan River. A half a length to Reigning to Win on the outside as Desert War puts on the power. A length away, Sunday Adieu, followed by Drax Back, Penathon, Forum and Coalescers last of all. Around the next bend, 800 metres to go. It's Desert War. He's 2 to Chinque Cento, 5 to Gaze, a half to Grand Zulu, 2.5 to Lachlan River. Reigning to Win is next on the outside from Sunday Adieu. Drax Back is next, and then Penathon on the inside of Forum and Coalescers last. Desert War in front, 500 metres to go. Chinque Cento's going closer. 2 to Gaze, Grand Zulu. Now Bosses calling upon Reigning to Win. He's getting to the outside, followed by Lachlan River as they corner. Chinque Cento went past Desert War at the 300. It's Chinque Cento in front of Desert War, Gaze, Lachlan River. Reigning to Win is struggling at the moment, followed by Grand Zulu, but Chinque Cento the leader with 100 metres to go. Gaze on the outsides coming after Chinque Cento, Penathon late, but it's Chinque Cento in front, and Chinque Cento's beaten Gaze and Penathon in the Doomben Cup. Grand Zulu's run 4th, Coalescers run 5th, Lachlan River's run 6th, then Desert War, then Sunday Adieu. A long way back, Drax Back. Reigning to Win has run 2nd last. The last time is Forum in the upsets in the Doomben Cup. Number 8, Chinque Cento for Peter Moody and Stephen Arnold at $24 and $4.40.
And Stewie Ramsey.
Oh, mate. It's very emotional. A lot of people in the industry might know, but Stuart's been a great client of mine. He lost his little girl, Shirley, about 2 weeks ago, 18-year-old. And we've sort of joked all week that Shirley's going to be with us here today. And, you know, it's just it's a great moment for the family. They're terrific racing people, and to win the race is just phenomenal, you know.
And he's more than... This is a great
training performance, though. Hasn't started for a month. He did everything he wanted with her, and he produced her here with his staff just magnificently.
Stuart, emotional for Peter, clearly for you, what you've been through in the past fortnight, mate.
Thanks, mate. Yeah.
What about this as a win? Half of the... I'll just sneak a word here with Andrew. And
Wow. By nothing like a Dane. Peter Moody, who back at his old stomping ground in Brisbane, eh? And that wonderful jockey Stephen Arnold aboard. We'll introduce you to Steve.
It was great to be a part of it, and really felt glad for the owners to win the race.
By the time you got back in, it was still very...
Ramsey, and they are extremely tough, you know, physically and mentally tough blokes. I mean, Stewie's in the meat exporting business and has been around abattoirs all his working life, and Pete, well, you look at Pete and he looks big and tough, and he is a big... But to see those blokes break down the way they did yesterday, it just shows the depth of feeling that was there. And, you know, you're a boy from the...
The war horse, and always travelling really well, and travelled like the winner.
Finished behind. I thought that Desert War, he looked like he's had enough this preparation to me. He looked flat the whole way for Damien Oliver, and he sort of caved in the straight, which is unlike him, and he didn't cave in badly, but he just looked a bit flat. I thought that the other horse, reigning to win, he doesn't look like a horse that gets 2,000 metres. It was always the worry for me that he was a 1,400 metre or a miler, and he definitely looked like that. They found him out with a bit of pace on in a 2020. I thought Grand Zulu wasn't a bad run from a Brisbane Cup point of view, and if you want to throw another couple in, I thought that Drax Back, the run was a lot better than the stats would look. He was gone on the corner, and you see him there in the black colours, just towards the outside there, and the last 100 metres, he starts to really close in on them again when he got his balance. So I didn't think his run was too bad, Michael.
No, not at all. What would be the betting on the first four favourites in the betting in that race, finishing outside the first four when they hit the line? That's incredible. I think, you know...
All the rage. Sky Raider at 100 might try and sneak a shot of her in the mounting yard shortly. Gold Edition is the rating clear ahead of Snort, Musseteer. And the market has Dan Lee at $10. It's worked well across the road at Eagle Farm this week. About to get the latest from Kathy. Grand Reeve at $11. $1.90 for Gold Edition, and just above that Musseteer for John O'Shea at $21. And Bianca, spoken to Gabe Waterhouse a couple of times about Bianca.
Gold Edition, yes, she's pretty short on track, but she has been back. A little bit of overs about her on the tote. I've gone that way, 8, 1, 2, 3 as they run.
They're racing now. Gold Edition from the outside began okay, and Grand Reeve is underneath her quickly in the early part. And when they come onto the course proper, Gold Edition's going to run to the lead. Grand Reeve is settling second. Musseteer is going to settle third. Bianca fourth, followed by Jardine. I'm a Joker. Then Sat Sang, followed by Oh Crikey. Further back is Stella Mac, and Dan Lee's very deep going up to the first corner. This corner 800 to go. Gold Edition by 2 to Grand Reeve. Bianca third. Musseteer next on the outside. 2.5 to Jardine on the inside of I'm a Joker. 3 to Dan Lee. It can't get on the track. Working hard around Oh Crikey. Sat Sang on the rail, then Sequential Charm, followed by Stella Mac and Snort and Alberto. Coming up to the bend, and Gold Edition is the leader. She's coming around the turn, 2.5 to Grand Reeve. Riders getting anxious on it. 2 lengths away, Musseteer, followed then by Jardine to the outside, and then comes Dan Lee. Gold Edition leads past the 300. It's 2 in front. In second spot, Grand Reeve. Jardine next on the outside, and Dan Lee, but Gold Edition, she's well clear with 100 metres left to go. She's out by 3 to Grand Reeve. Jardine, Sequential Charm, Dan Lee, it's all Gold Edition. She's off to the 10,000 next week, and Gold Edition bolted in. She won by 4 or 5. Photo second and third. Jardine, Grand Reeve, very prominent. Dan Lee, Sequential Charm not far away, and Snort got home when it was all over. The next time in the race, Alberto, followed by I'm a Joker, Oh Crikey. Further back in the field, then to Sat Sang, followed by Stella Mac and Musseteer. And last time in the race was Bianca. She's off to the 10,000 next week now. She was just, I thought, not in trouble at the 200, but I thought some of these were going to get a bit closer to her. But on the line, she was going away from them. She was just getting away from them. 1:17.52, she has smashed Mr. Innocent's race record. Mr. Innocent ran 1:17.6. She's gone 1:17.52, and she's not far outside Natural Destiny's course record of 1:17.09. Oh, it's a blistering performance.
For 8, 2 and 11, and they ran sensational time, 1:17.52 and 34.7.
No doubt about it. In the early stages of the race, they waited until she was about 3 clear. What do you say about it? She just keeps, the more you raise the bar, the higher she jumps for you. So I really don't think we're being too hard on her, but if we are, we'll pull the pin any time. So it won't matter whether the Doomben 10,000 or the Stradbroke's coming up. We won't knock our horse around because this is a very special horse.
Yeah, look, she's outstanding, Bo, and I'm really looking forward to next week. It's probably her acid test. I mean, to say everything that she's been asked to do, she's done very professionally, and that's probably one of her biggest assets. She's so professional, and I said to Ron prior to the race, drawing 13, I wasn't that sort of worried.
We can clarify that it's the best sprinting filly in Australia.
I think you raise a good point there. Who will be the 3-year-old filly of the year?
Yeah, well,
I mean, is it Gold Edition or is it Miss Finland?
Yeah, and
what
Alan,
about the horse of the year, Richard?
Well, I'll keep coming back to this. You know, she had a crack at in the Newmarket and got beaten. So that for me is just that.
Yeah. Anyhow, just before we go into that, I'm sorry I raised that. Now, Alan, in winning yesterday, Gold Edition also broke the Mr. Innocent, went pretty close to the track record too.
Yeah, it was on about, I think, about half a second outside it and broke Mr. Innocent's race record. The only thing, I mean, she's outstanding. Under the set weight conditions of these races, she's just got too much on them. And poor old Green Reeve, that's the 3rd time he's chased her home. He chased her home in the Magic Millions 3-year-old, he chased her home in the race at the Coast of Guineas, and he's chased her home again yesterday. So he's sick and tired of looking at her. The horse in the green colours on the right-hand side of your screen, that's Dan Lee. Its main mission might be the Queensland Guineas, but it's still in the Stradbroke. It hasn't drawn a gate since it's been here, so I think its runs have been terrific. The only thing about
60 or 70 to 1 chance it didn't perform too badly. Just on Gold Edition, I mean, I've been looking at horses for a long time, been doing the form for a long time. I've never in my life seen a horse that can aim up like she can. Just week after week, meeting after meeting.
It's freaky, isn't it?
Doesn't matter how good she is the only horse in my life that I've ever seen that can back up like that. I see horses, you know, they produce these career best ratings. They'll do it once or twice, and then they just go in the corner and sulk for 6 months and come back. She just turns up, bang, bang, bang. If she puts a bad one in, 3 weeks later she bounces back.
She's been doing it since she was 2.
Since she's a baby. She's a one-in-a-lifetime horse. She is amazing.
The way she does that.
Yeah, amazing.
Michael, the significant is going to be in the 10,000.
Amazing.
Michael, the significant barrier is going to be in the 10,000.
Well, yes and no, because she's...
In terms of takeover target,
yeah. We definitely did that. That's the key. Who draws inside who there.
Exactly.
But I think she'll give him a bit of a touch-up myself.
So do I.
Well, I think she's going better than he is.
He's been a great horse. He's been around the world. He's acquitted himself well and well documented about his injuries and that. But he's on the sort of lighter side of life now, and she's just powering on. I think she'll beat him.
But however, we're going to look at a Group 3 racing yesterday, and it happened in Hong Kong, and this was yesterday, I believe. No, sorry, Thursday, I take that back. And have a look at this ride of Brett Preble.
Now by Ada Carley. Now Medic Power's looking for somewhere to go. In the meantime, Sacred Kingdom starts to wind up. Medic Power's coming through between horses and Sacred Kingdom. Medic Power sprinted to the front from Sacred Kingdom. Ada Carley sticks on. Green Birdie with a late run, but Medic Power sprinted away from them. Medic Power with 50 to go, coming clear from Green Birdie, and My Choice and Medic Power. Brilliant. Medic Power beat...
Yes, Andrew, Medic Power, Paul O'Sullivan and Brett Preble.
Yeah, look, Brett Preble's now equal in the premiership over there. He's equal with Douglas White with 10 meetings to go. This horse has now won its last 6 starts for Paul O'Sullivan. It beats some very good sprinters. That's Green Birdie flashing home for second, the former Victorian. It was enormous. It gave them 2-length start at the home turn and ran home some very slick sectionals.
And I think from memory, its last performance in Australia, Graham, Harada Son kicked its head in.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. If they're so great, why is Green Birdie, who wasn't a top-class sprinter here, the best run in the race?
Okay, right.
Secret's the clear favourite here. It's a 1,000 metre race. We'll take this one and come back and have a chat with Jay Ford.
Set to go. Stand. Racing. Lucky Secret on the outside began fairly. Mrs. Waters out quickly with Appian Way. Strategy G going through to head them off early. And Crepe de Sheen getting up on the inside. Strategy G, Crepe de Sheen lead from Mrs. Waters posted deep. Appian Way back fourth. Further back in the race then came Wishmaster. Then Marwin Gold, top tier the inside. Lucky Secret very wide. Further back Ra Sun. Pinprick, What's the Mail, Serene Prince going, spending. Well back in the race, Candyman, Bazaar last of all. 500 out, a shade under now. Crepe de Sheen, Strategy G, and they steady in front from Mrs. Waters, and Lucky Secret makes a line of 4. Out there in the white colours going up to the leaders now. 2 further back, then Wishmaster, top tier locked up, followed by Appian Way. Ra Sun, Pinprick on the turn. Strategy G a length in front. Mrs. Waters under pressure, and Lucky Secret comes at them quickly. Lucky Secret races now to Strategy G. Then Ra Sun, Serene Prince down the outside, but a Lucky Secret is sprinting away. A brilliant win by the 3-year-old. Lucky Secret by 2.5 in the run home. Second Ra Sun, third Serene Prince. Bazaar in on for fourth. Then going spending Pinprick. Further back Mrs. Waters, followed by Wishmaster, Marwin Gold. Top tier bar 1 Crepe de Sheen.
He's pretty exciting. 4 starts, 4 wins for Lucky Secret, ridden by Craig Williams and trained by Tony Vassell. Good job from the wide gate, 12-2-6.
Six-side Ripperton, isn't he? Lucky Secret, Tony Vassell, Craig Williams have a Ra Sun star.
I think he's a star for sure, this horse, Lucky Secret. I mean, we knew he drew badly, but I thought Craig Williams...
What do you mean a star? What level?
Well, gee whiz, I tell you what, mate, the use he made of him from that barrier... Well, if you let me finish what I was going to say. It'll win a group race for sure. I don't know which level, but it...
Come on, have a go at the level. I think you're right, by the way. He'll win a group race,
Group
for sure.
2.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Group 2.
Yeah. Group 2.
Okay, Group 2.
It's a bit weak. You could have gone Group 1.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't want to make any wild statements.
I think you're right. I think he is a Group
4.
Rightio. Let's move on now.
Going to be a great race. We've been talking about it. All the hard horse to catch, but he has been running some decent races during the Sydney Autumn Carnival. $4.50. And we look through the others. The Sky Ratings had Rena's Lady as one of their equal top scorers, the AJC Oaks winner. She's a $14 chance. Michael Rodway.
Favourite on track here, pretty similar on and off. That's also the case with Empire's Choice number 1. The big moves.
The Rough Habit is next. We'll be calling.
Lights are on. Set. And they're racing now. Prince of Truth left okay. Empire's Choice is getting back shortly after the break, and Galen from the inside was one of the first to go. So Step and Line is going quickly with Ready When You Are and Rena's Lady, and Pegasus Pride is driving through, and so is Sands of Time with Sophistication, and they're going to Spread Eagle. Oh, Prince of Truth got on their heels to the turn out of the straight, and taking stock out of King of the Nile. They're at the 700 metres mark. They're quickening the tempo now. So Step in Line by 1. Rena's Lady second. Pegasus Pride third. Ready When You Are fourth. Sands of Time fifth on the inside of Sophistication. And Galen on the inside of Danehill Princess. Prince of Truth going around them wide. 4-1 is held up, and Empire's Choice is trying to get into the clear as they corner. So Step in Line at the 350, joined by Rena's Lady. Ready When You Are came at them. So too did Sophistication. Galen. And here's Prince of Truth and Danehill Princess and Empire's Choice. Empire's Choice rocketing from the back. He's coming 1,000,000 miles an hour. Sands of Time's going with him. Empire's Choice and Sands of Time. Empire's Choice, Sands of Time. Empire's Choice beats Sands of Time. It's a photo third. Ready When You Are is very prominent. Prince of Truth, 4-1 Resolution and King of the Nile. They're all across the track. The next home is Danehill Princess, followed by Take the Plea, Rena's Lady. Further back in the field came So Step in Line, and then Pegasus Pride, Sophistication, Galen, Karaji, and last time is Torino Luge. Empire's Choice, Damien Oliver has sprinted quickly on the outside, and he is swept home to win here.
Rough Habit played here at Doomben. Empire's Choice was the winner, 1, 7 and 10. He'd only won 1 out of 13 prior today, and that was a maiden at Hawkesbury. He'd been thereabouts in a few OK races from time to time.
He's in the right camp, isn't he? And he's got everything going for him. You'd think Eagle Farm would suit him a little bit better too.
Well said, and well written by Damien Oliver. Empire's Choice, Sands of Time, Ready When You Are. Alan, it's promised so much. It's really starting to deliver now, Empire's Choice.
He did, and he won, and he won well, and the second horse made him stretch, and the good part about Empire's Choice's win was when that other horse came at him, he was able to beat him off at the finish. I thought Prince of...
Myself, that King of the Niles run was by far the best in the race. I got some doubts about Prince of Truth being any sort of a star. I think only two.
I think it'll be interesting to try and line up the form between that race and Thessio's win up there, because, you know, Thessio against older horses, I know, carried the limit weight, but maybe that was a stronger test. And it'll be interesting to see how the punters line that up, whether they rate a win against the older horses as more important and more value.
Empire's Choice has always been the horse. Empire's Choice has always been the horse that's had plenty of ability. Looking down the rest of this field, you know, you'd own it any time, and I think he's probably just starting to realise his true potential now.
But main race of the day. I've been looking forward to this race all week, the Doomben 10,000, and this great clash between Takeover Target and Gold Edition, both of them with history against them in the 10,000. In particular, Gold Edition. No 3-year-old fillies ever won this race previously. 10-1, 6-2 are our Sky ratings. And no 7-year-old has won the race. That's Takeover Target. No 7-year-old has won it since the race went to 1,350 metres many, many years ago. 40 cents. She is the favourite. And Larry is about to have a chat with Jim.
I love the look of him when he came past. Joe Janiak said he's improved. He's right. He's bang on. We're going to see a wonderful race. And I think it's...
Never won. Now, Hard to Catch goes in. The start might be very important here. Any suggestion moves up. Set. The gates open and they're off and running, and Gold Edition came out brilliantly, and so too did Takeover Target, but Gold Edition shoots straight to the front. Takeover Target's going to sit about a length off her in the early part. Media third, Black Ink is racing fourth. 2 lengths away, Matani. Edition is the leader at the 900 metres mark, leads by 1.5. Takeover Target second, Black Ink third on the rails, a length away to Media. A length further back is Matani, Malcolm outside him. Another length to Royal Ida, followed by Hard to Catch, G.I. Jane, and last of all is Any Suggestion. They're at the 600 metres mark, they're quickening the tempo now. Gold Edition, she can't sneak away. Takeover Target's a length behind her, coming to the corner. 2 lengths to Black Ink, followed by Media, Matani. Further back on the field, Malcolm, Royal Ida, Hard to Catch, G.I. Jane, Any Suggestion. They're coming around the turn, and Gold Edition is the leader. On the outside, Takeover Target's trying to lay down the law. Then comes Black Ink, and Matani's coming home. Gold Edition the leader, tackled by Takeover Target, which swept to the lead, and then followed by Black Ink, Matani the outside, but it's Takeover Target grabbing the lead. He is a sprinting champion. Takeover Target beat Gold Edition. It's a photo third, Matani or Black Ink. Further back in the field came Royal Ida, and then came Media, Hard to Catch, Malcolm, G.I. Jane, and last home is Any Suggestion, and he is the best sprinter in the world, Takeover Target.
He is an absolute champion, and Joe Janiak is here. Congratulations, Joe. He's done you proud again.
Oh, he certainly has, mate. He's just a great little horse, you know. Just, I can't explain how I feel. I'm just so excited and happy.
All right, take us through, Joe. What's the plan?
England, he's leaving for England on Wednesday, and hopefully be racing there on the 16th. I think it is down on the 19th. I'm not very sure.
Did she still run a good race?
Yeah, she did well. Won too good, and must take my hat off. He's rightfully the champion of the world, because to beat her today surprised me, to tell you the truth, and I've got to take my hat off to a wonderful horse and a great training effort to bring him up like that again. So she was gallant, our girl, and for a baby she went all right.
Any differently in terms of instruction?
No, we were beat by a better horse on the day.
Where will she go now? All roads still leading to the Stradbroke Handicap?
Yeah, well, the handicapper won't be able to penalise her now. It should be a start, but Matani wasn't far away, and I think he's a handicap certainty.
She's done...
Rode them as well as they possibly could. They could not afford to ride one horse differently. Jimmy rode her the same way as he did here the other day, and of course Jay Ford.
Hey, what a story, huh?
He's a star.
He is a star, isn't he? So is young Jay Ford, and we'll talk with Jay in just a moment. Gold Edition second and Matani third. But before we do all that, let's hear from the beaten jockey, starting off with Jimmy Cassidy.
Yeah, mate, I travelled good. Look, no excuses, mate. It looked a 2-horse race. Club weren't disappointed. I think everyone would have been happy. Either one won. World-class sprinter. He's on song. He's going overseas. Good luck to him. Good effort.
He's an absolute star, isn't he, Takeover Target? And he's won the 2 races this season, the one in Japan and the one here. Jay, where do you rate him as against the horse that was in Japan? I mean, is he going as well now as he was then?
I think he's a different horse to back then. You know, he's had a long time off. He's getting a lot older these days, but I think he's nearing that sort of peak form. I still think he's you know, a length or two off that, but I certainly do think he's on his way back to it.
Jay, Mike Fraser, if you will. Oh, you were monitored there. Do you remember this particular day? Oh, it's up there. Yeah, well, I'm sure you do now.
In the hand.
Yeah,
they stitched you up, Graham.
They stitched me right up, thank you. That was, of course, Takeover Target's first start, and it won by 7 lengths at Queen Vienne, and that was back in, I think it was April of 2004. So
that's when Joe was living in the caravan. Yeah. And driving the taxi.
It is an amazing story.
Now Joe's having lunch with the Queen.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's been a fairy tale story, and you've got to have those stories in racing. And
just third was a terrific run. Was doing his best work late, and it looks like he's really going to appreciate the step up to 2100 metres today. He actually went around in the Victoria Derby back in the spring. He ran 7th behind Efficient, but I think it's fair to say he's probably a bit more mature now, and this is probably more his level. Sirmione. Let's head upstairs to Alan Thomas for the first here at Eagle Farm on Oaks Day.
Thank you, Matt. Oh, what an exciting day we've got ahead of us here this afternoon. 8 black-type races, highlighted, of course, by the... And they're off and racing now, and Sirmione began quickly. He's restrained in the middle of the line, and Galen was actually the first to go. My Centurion from out wide is trying to muster speed. Huluava's going through. So is Aqua Racer from Karaji. From home, Aqua Racer by 2.5 now. Galen second, Huluava third, My Centurion fourth. 2 lengths away, Take the Plea, followed by Take It All, Karaji, Cariad, Banjo. Sirmione's in between runners. He hasn't got a lot of room coming to the turn. And then some way safer, and last of all is Cotton Fingers around the bend of the 400. Aqua Racer the leader. My Centurion went to second. Take the Plea went on the fence, and then comes Huluava, and further back is Take It All, and Sirmione is coming down the outside now with a big run. Oh, he's coming fast. Oh, he's coming from the tail. Sirmione swept up, and inside the 200, Sirmione raced to the lead from My Centurion. Take the Plea, Karaji, and Take It All, and Sirmione's racing away in the Grand Prix. He'll bolt in, and Sirmione won by 3 to My Centurion. Karaji third, Take It All fourth. The next time, Take the Plea, followed then by Aqua Racer, Cariad. Huluava close to Derby favourite. He'll be very close to Derby favourite. Sirmione, oh, he went quickly when Rod let him go. He was under restraint coming to the turn. He didn't have a lot of galloping room, but Rod got him to the outside when heads a turn for home. He was about 6 off.
Of course, back in his home state for Bart Cummings. Big day for Bart. Sirmione over My Centurion, Karaji.
Yes, well, he's a real Derby hope, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know, he's going to run the 2400 out. He's settled back on the ruck. He's sprinted quickly. I think this is a great Derby next week. You got him, Empire's Choice. Thesio beat the older horses. You got the filly in the race. Don't discount Moroni's other horse either, Resolution. It ran well the other day. He's going to run the trip out, and you know he'll be beautifully prepared. And I think he's there with a real chance next Saturday.
Yeah, he's got a real sense of timing about him, hasn't he? He hasn't won since I think the Carnival last year, but he put the writing on the wall last start, running second to Running to Win, and he's right on target. Still don't know whether he's got the quality of his stablemate Empire's Choice, who I think is going to peak on the right day. Well, it's pretty hard to
left him in.
pot any of them.
Gee, I
still like Thesio.
There's a lot of depth to it.
So the Gold Coast runners are... All right, Steve, we'll take it back for a moment or two and return when we get the verdict with Flood Hero, number 7. Eagle Farm Size Produce Stakes and runners are in the mounting yard and parading. A Pursu is the favourite on course. And Royal Asher and also Kiros are the equal second picks. So Royal Asher, Eagle Farm ahead of Kiros, and on track a Pursu is kicking out. There's been money for Royal Asher, and Kiros has also eased from its opening.
Sires and Lassie McTavish to the inside began okay. Royal Asher began quickly. Kiki is going fast on settling down, and going through too is Bonza Crop with Masked Assassin, and gee, there's some power on going through this last. At the crossing, 600 metres to go. Bonza Crop a half to Royal Asher. 2 lengths away, Masked Assassin on the inside of Quide. Kiki is wide. Apasu getting a lovely run on the fence, followed by Pride of Power. Kai Ross, Kick and Chase. Gelzar and Lassie McTavish. Bonza Crop leads at the 400. Royal Ashes on terms with it. Kiki moving up. Apasu's behind them trying to get off the fence, followed by Master Assassin, and here's Diamond Deck and Pride of Power. It's Kiki and Royal Asher going to the lead. Apasu's going to go back to the inside of Master Assassin. Came at them. Royal Asher, Kiki, Master Assassin, Diamond Deck and Master Assassin. Master Assassin in front. Master Assassin. Master Assassin's beaten Diamond Deck. Photo third. Kick and Chase or Kairos. There'll be some hard luck stories in this. Behind them.
And they're at the gates. There's all the official totes there. 4, 16, 6 and 8 were the numbers.
Moody,
Yes.
on that last name basis. Is that by name or nature?
Well, I don't know. Anyhow, it's Peter.
Pete's a great bloke.
Yeah, Peter Moody, he is and what a carnival he's having.
A beauty.
Thank you very much. And that's an extraordinary association with he and Luke Nolan. That's out of a mare called Duk Duk Allen, which raced up there.
Yeah, didn't race with success. Very good win. He's got a great race record. He's at 6 for 3. I thought Royal Asher improved after its Doomben run. Apasu and the dark colours on the fence just runs out of room. Had no luck. Kiki did a good job, was trapped wide. And I got a lot of time for the second horse, Diamond Deck. I think this is a real good horse.
And then the run closed on it, and it got going again at the end. Wasn't a bad run.
Wait a minute, it had its chance. Did Craig Newitt get suspended out of that race?
He did, Ronnie. He got
he must have had
7.
his chance.
Well, it did get a chance to get a run in the straight.
Yeah.
Clary wasn't very happy. Clary walked into the enclosure after the race with the phone. You tell the owner.
No, well, Craig.
Thank you, Matt. Yes, the Conrad Treasury Queensland Oaks Group 1, 2,400 metres, and as expected, Eskimo Queen is the favourite. Hasn't moved from its opening quote. Just a little bit better than what you're getting on the tote. Second elect is Lazaron. Similarly, hasn't moved. Just a little...
Once again with his final comments on the Oaks. Ron, I wanted to ask you about Rena's Lady, who of course is the AJC Oaks winner. You'd think, you know, if she's good enough to win an AJC Oaks, she'd have to be competitive in a Queensland Oaks. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, Matt, maybe the track's been a little bit too hard for her the last few starts. So she does get a dead track here today, and surprisingly, the AJC Oaks this year was a funny race where they just forgot about the two favourites were out the back, if you remember, and it ended up to be a real on-pace race, and they really handed it to...
My Lady's Chamber came out, head went down on the deck, and by a freak of nature it stayed on its feet, don't ask me how. One of the first to go was Zeagle Eagle. Lasseron began well, and Eskimo Queen's going up to hit the front. Rena's Lady's going quickly, and so is Rose of Sharon and rearing, and when they reach the winning post the first time, 2,000 to go, Rena's Lady goes to the lead, joined by rearing. Rose of Sharon is third, and Zeagle Lady on the inside of Eskimo Queen. She's had a great run, Eskimo Queen. They're followed then by Watchers on the inside, Lillian B. Lasseron's got shuffled back and a little bit wide now, followed by Manamiss and Tayriana. Fuji Fantasy's trying to go forward with Very Grand, followed by Doug's Mate, Danehill Princess, My Lady's Chamber and Pooties. They're at the crossing, 600 metres to go. Zingara out by Wonder Rose of Sharon. Zeagle Eagle going up to a strong third, followed by Rena's Lady, rearing behind those. Eskimo Queen is next, Lillian B, Doug's Mate, and Manamiss and Fuji Fantasies a long way back past the 400. Zingara in front of Rose of Sharon. Zeagle Eagle, here's Eskimo Queen be called upon. Rena's Lady on the fence, and they're followed by Doug's Mate to the 200 metres mark, and Eskimo Queen sprinting quickly, dash past Zingara. Then Rose of Sharon, Rena's Lady, but Greg Childs goes for home, and Eskimo Queen and the Oaks is over. Eskimo Queen's raced away. She won by 3 lengths. Tight second and third. Doug's Mate, Rose of Sharon or Zingara's, are the only noses between them. Then Danehill Princess, Rena's Lady. The next time Manamiss, Very Lillian B, and Lasseron has pulled up. Now something obviously went amiss. Went very, very quickly inside the 200, and she raced away, and she has bolted in the Oaks, Eskimo Queen. Now, second and third, there's only no...
The way she raced away from that sort of field, and at the half mile, she had them beat. It was a simply amazing performance for such a lightly raced filly. She looks a real stayer in the making, and who's...
Charles there talking about Eskimo Queen, Doug's Mate second, and Rose of Sharon. By golly, that battled on well, Rose of Sharon. Let's hear from the...
And that's so, you know, that's what the blinkers on, going a bit further, she's got better.
Mike, I know that you've had a lot of very good horses, and you know what it takes to win over a Melbourne Spring Carnival, and sometimes an Oaks winner in Queensland, you yourself could look at it and say, well, it's won impressively, but, you know, I don't really think it's a Melbourne Spring horse. What do you think about this filly?
Well, she can take the next step, because I think the thing in her favour, Richard, is that she's lightly raced and shown great improvement. It's her first campaign. She's been capable of going from 1,200 metres to 2,400 metres, so she's got that little bit of zip and a bit of class, but the only thing about her, she's not overly big, and when she gets against the big guns in the spring, it's going to be interesting, because she's not overly big filly.
Mike, just looking at her after the race, she's just got a... you wouldn't think she'd had a run. She's got a beautiful, clean wind about her. She wasn't even blowing.
Look, she's a very casual track worker, and she did worry us a bit during the week, but she's very clean-winded, got a great attitude for a horse that's had limited practice. She's really got a great brain, and just watching her walk around after the win, she just didn't have a care in the world about it.
Good luck to you in this, the QTC Cup at Group 2 level. And let's have a look at the market. Well, the wide betting race, very wide betting race, Son of Dane is the favourite, number 12. And those under double figures. Mr. Hornblower has been backed. It's well in commission, so too is...
Fella, and he has got the 58, but look, he's carried big weights well in the past, and look, he's got a terrific chance on.
At OK, Son of Dane began quickly, Daunting Lad, and there goes Rasmussen from the outside, and he's your leader. Around the first corner he goes, Rasmussen, he scoots to the lead from Daunting Lad. Son of Dane third, Any Suggestion fourth, Telemus fifth, and then on followed by Enrique, the Jackal out about 3 deep, and Nova Stars 4 deep around the top corner. Then Amex, Mr. Hornblower, Smart and Mighty, followed by Magic Marvo. The Jackals going up deep. Any Suggestions, the grey third. Daunting Lad fourth. Son of Dane fifth on the fence. Nova Star deep, and then Tell 'em Irish Sky. Prince Leo dipped over the crossing. Then Enrique, Smart and Mighty, Amex, Mr. Hornblower, Fritz's Princess, Magic Marvo, and then comes Vocalic and Fiorenza. Rasmussen leads at the 400. The Jackal a half length away. Then Any Suggestion, Son of Dane, Daunting Lad, Amex, Prince Leo, Enrique, Nova Star. The Jackal after Rasmussen at the 200 there, clear from Son of Dane. Rasmussen on the inside, the leader from the Jackal. Nova Star and Son of Dane are coming. Rasmussen is the leader. Nova Star's going home right over the top of Rasmussen, and Nova Star beat Rasmussen tight for third. Son of Dane and Mr. Hornblower from Vocalic. Fritz's Princess next, the Jackal, Irish Sky, Smart and Mighty, Prince Leo, Tell 'em Enrique. Further back in the field, Fiorenza, and then came Magic Marvo, Amex, Daunting Lad, and last time in the race is Any Suggestion. And is my memory right, I reckon that was 4 and 5 wide down the side of the track all of the way.
Schweppes, congratulations. I think the last there, the updated market for the Stradbroke.
And running the Stradbroke next week.
Go. Oh, you'll never hear a jockey get off a horse.
I said I'd like to hear it. I said I'd like to hear it. You don't listen.
Heard it. Yeah.
Well, I heard it.
Took 5 minutes.
And I enjoyed it.
Yeah. He's still, and there are things to come. But Alan, all yours.
Oh, well, that run's an enigma. I mean, Nova Star won that race at the Gold Coast, the Silk Stocking. She sat 4 and 5 wide all the way. She goes around there yesterday, and around the first corner, she was closer to Nudgee Road from out there. She stays out there the entire trip. She doesn't go anywhere from the 400 to the 200, and then the 200 to the winning post, she scoots down the outside and knocks off a very good horse, Rasmussen, who got mucked up by the Jackal. Second horse, I think, was a bit stiff.
They're not Stradbroke horses, are they?
No.
No.
But we'll turn our attention here to the O'Shea Stakes, and the favourite here is head turner number 2. It's been pretty solid. It's similar to what you're getting.
I engage this. I just can't get a handle on this at all. Anyway, we'll all be a little bit wiser after the race. And then off and racing now. Gaze bounded out of the gates from the inside. Gorgeous George is going quickly. We'll try and assume the supremacy of the leader. Grand Zulu striding up with Ring of Fire. Upstage a little bit deep, and so is Vanquish, followed by Ice Chariot. And then Hello Possums, Lachlan River, Head Turner easing out of it, the third last, followed by Accumulate. And Pentathon and the Rough Habit Colours is last of all. Out of the straight, they're second last, and Pentathon is last of all. Down the side towards the 800 metres mark, Gorgeous George by 1. Upstage second, a length the Grand Zulu third. G Gaze has had a beautiful run and is travelling in fourth. A length further back, the Ring of Fire, moving up on the outside of Hello Possums. 2 lengths to Ice Chariot, and then Lachlan River, followed by Pentathon. Head Turners back the second last, and Accumulators last as they make the bend. 4:50 to go. Gorgeous George in front of Upstage. Here's Gaze peeling out 3 deep. Ring of Fire's trying to go with it. Grand Zulu closer to the fence from Ice Chariot, and then Hello Possums and Head Turner. 300 metres left to go. Gorgeous George the leader. Grand Zulu on the fence, and Gaze out in the middle of the track, and Ice Chariot is is getting up on the rail. Grand Zulu the leader. Ice Chariot. Gorgeous George. Gaze on the outside. Grand Zulu and Gaze have come away. Grand Zulu, Gaze, look at Pentathon. Pentathon jumping up out of the ground. He's done a rough habit. He's come from last, Pentathon, and he's bloused them in the O'Shea Stakes. Gaze second, Grand Zulu third. Not sure about fourth. Ice Chariot is prominent, with Upstage and Gorgeous George from Lachlan River. Head turner never got into it. Further back, Accumulate, Ring of Fire, Hello Possums, and Vanquish break down over the back of the track. Is that Rough Habit, or is it Pentathon? Have a look at him. He's done a Rough Habit. He has come from last.
You were going to think he was going to run a nice second or third, but he's put in the big strides, massive strides, and picked up Gaze and Grand Zulu and taken the O'Shea. He's now won 9 races from 39 with about 10 minor placings as well, and he did run a good race in the Derby.
Last year I rode the horse in the Brisbane Cup, and he ran 4th, and it was a really good run. And he went back to New Zealand and won Group 1 races when he went back, so he's a nice up-and-coming horse. He's probably...
And Alan?
Well, John Wheeler told me 3 years ago this was a good horse, and he brought him over here. I think he ran in the Derby as a 3-year-old, and he told me that this horse will eventually be a top liner, and I think Johnny knows what it takes.
20 Monday. Bon Honore going forward. He likes to roll forward, Bon Honore, as we know. He goes up on the outside of lunch at Christie's.
Stradbroke Handicap, they're all at the gates, this big field, and they'll be moving in shortly. I can report that Gold Edition has been very heavily supported on course. They've really come for her in a big way, and she is the clear-cut favourite, Gold Edition. There's also been a little bit of specking for Matani. From the top, Excellent is in $1. Not a great deal of confidence there with Malcolm. Matani's in half a point. G.I. Jane is out 2. Black Ink is solid, just inside double-figure odds and hasn't budged from his opening quote. Gold Edition has been heavily supported here for the Stradbroke Handicap. Royal at around the same quote as the Unitab. Storm Hill at around half its Unitab quote at the moment. Hard to catch, Shinzig, massive odds. Reigning to Win, what's he paying on the TAB? $7.60, just a little bit shorter, and again, hasn't Mighty is out $10. And of the rest, I'm just waiting for my screen to click over so I can give you Sniper's Bullet. He's the only other one we'll be interested in down in the weights there, currently $7.90. So they're loading them up for the Stradbroke Handicap, but just repeating that Gold Edition is the clear-cut favourite on course.
Matani from near the inside, one of the first to go. Gold Edition began brilliantly, and she pounced on the lead, and on settling down, it's Gold Edition going to the lead. On the outside, Malcolm, ridden aggressively, goes to second. Storm Hill third. Sniper's Bullet's running fourth. Then comes Misty. So too is Hard to Catch, and the Jackal is last. 700 metres to go. Gold Edition by 1. Malcolm second. Storm Hill races third. Sniper's Bullet handy fourth, and Mr. Ubiquitous. Matani's next on the rails. They're followed by Black Ink. Further back on the field, then came Nova Star as they approached the corner from G.I. Jane, followed by Benedetti. Smart and Mighty, Daunting Lad. Excellent snorts a long way back as they corner. Gold Edition cut the corner. She shot away past the 400. Gold Edition out by 2.5. Sniper's Bullet gets to second, followed then by Black Ink, and further back is Storm Hill and Malcolm. Gold Edition the leader. Sniper's Bullet's coming after Gold Edition inside the 100. Gold Edition the leader. Sniper's Bullet on the outside picking up the filly. Sniper's Bullet went to Gold Edition, and Sniper's Bullet drew away, won the Stradbroke from Gold Edition. Benedetti third, Photo fourth. Miss Ubiquitous in the photo with Nova Star. Then comes Black Ink, Reigning to Win, followed by Royal Ida, Storm Hill the next time in the race. Hard to Catch, followed by Snort, G.I. Jane, Malcolm. Matani never got into it. Further back in the field, Shinzig, followed by the Jackal. Smart and Mighty, Magic, Marvo, Excellent, and last time is Daunting Lad. Sniper's Bullet, the rider lost the cap in the straight, the cloth part of the cap. But Craig Williams has been able to get this horse to come out and gun down Gold Edition, who was absolutely magnificent in defeat.
We did with all the team at home. We've all worked so hard for this. We wanted it so bad, we faced it and we've got it. Beautiful.
From day one, you've had faith in this
for Tracy.
Yeah, and the horse put the riding on arm, was cheering for Gold Edition, the filly. But Sniper's Bullet, he's got a fan base here too, let me tell you. She was game in defeat.
Oh, how can you take anything away from her? Well, from what she's done, all this preparation and all last.
you know, I had my notes and I said I want to be positive on this horse. I think he's always a little bit slow out, and then he seems to travel a little bit too keen. I said if we can take the keenness out and put him right on the speed and chase the Iron Horse down in the filly, I think will be really suitable, but with no weight on our back. And Tracy was great. He just said, well, look, that's why we got you on top. But I had the horse.
We'll start firstly with Jimmy Cassidy, who rode Gold Edition.
Yeah, terrific effort, Ronnie. You know, just weight difference, I suppose, 50 kilos, 53 and a half. Another good effort.
At the 1,000, I was probably in an awkward position. By the time I got the turn, I'd got up to where I really wanted to be without coming off the bridle. Got to the outside. He never had no let go today. He just was disappointing.
And Trace, when Gold Edition just swept away coming around the home turn, were you still reasonably confident that Sniper's Bullet was going to figure in the finish and not only that, and win?
Look, I mean, no, you're chasing a champion filly. Like, I mean, you know, we got very confident in our horse herself, but I mean, she is a champion filly. And look, when she first straightened up, she kicked, and he sort of was floundered a little bit. He just waited and then waited, and about another 50 metres, you could just see him starting to get into his gear. Then I reckon he focused her in. His
best sprinters, Tracy. There's no doubt about that. And you've run her down.
Yeah.
Where do you see him fitting now as a 4-year-old? Is he going to be an out-and-out sprinter, or can you stretch him out to a mile or even beyond?
Oh yeah, I think he'll run. I do think he'll run 10 furlongs.
Right.
You know, he'll definitely run it.
So what's your goal with him?
I suppose we've got to look at the Cox plate. We've got to sort of look at that, you know, strategy. We'll have to talk to the owners. I mean, he's a very good horse. He's a very exciting horse.
Send credit to Sniper's Bullet. I think there's a couple of things we should remember about Gold Edition. Firstly, she had to carry 53 and a half yesterday. Dane Ripper won the Stradbroke, went on to win the Cox Plate. She carried 50.
Yeah.
Private Steer went on to win the Doncaster and other races and be one of the best sprinters in the land. She carried 48.
Oh.
And this filly had 53 and a half.
Yeah.
Carved out the first half in 46, and in the end the other 18 couldn't get near, and the one come out of the ruck was the best horse in the day, and that was Sniper's Bullet. So whilst we give total credit to Sniper's Bullet, I don't think you can speak highly enough of the performance of Gold Edition.
It was a wonderful performance, but she didn't look to be going that hard actually in the first couple of furlongs. I know the time said she was
going hard.
Yeah.
Whether times say that or not. I thought Benedetti was fantastic. He was back from Dubai, and to run a race like that first up after such a long trip was a marvellous training achievement by his trainer.
As for a spell now, Gold Edition at this stage will definitely back up tomorrow up against Sniper's Bullet over the 1,600 metres. Reigning to win goes for a spell, and excellent. It returns back to New Zealand tomorrow, being set for the spring. The legs have come through extremely well this morning.
Tracy, will you employ any different sort of tactics in its race on Monday?
Well, I know, no. He'll press forward, I suppose, a little.
Now, the next of the big ones here at Eagle Farm, the B&W Queensland Derby, is only 8 minutes away at Group 1 level, and a filly is favourite for this year's Derby. That is Eskimo Queen at $3.70, ahead of Empire's Choice and Sirmione.
Well, they must have seen him walking around. He does look good.
Thanks, Bart.
Good on you.
You might have a Derby in a few minutes. All right, there he is, none other than JB Cummings. Now, a quick break and we'll come back. This big field of 20 runners will be moving in shortly for the Derby. To take home at the end of the day. Greg Childs on the favourite here, the filly Eskimo Queen, but on course she remains favourite, and Bart's got the equal second picks with Empire's Choice, who's in half a point and has been well backed, and Sirmione has been very solid too. On the Unitab is pretty much what you're looking at here on course.
The gates open and they're off and running now in the Derby. Cotton Fingers near the inside began okay. Eskimo Queen, as she was in the Oaks, has ridden aggressively out of the gates. My Centurion and Craig Williams, he's off on Sands of Time in the early part, and Karaji, Fuji Fantasy and Thesio are going forward. At the line the first time, and Thesio strides to the lead from Fuji Fantasy on the outside of Sands of Time. Eskimo on from barrier 20 went to the tail. Into the back, 1,500 to go. Thesio is the leader, out by 2 lengths. The band second. Oh, there's a fall over the back of the track. One's come down. It's Sands of Time and Craig Williams. Sands of Time and Craig Williams have bitten the dust in the Derby. Over the back to the 1,300 metres mark, and Thesio is the leader. Thesio by a length in front of the band. Oh, it's not Sands of Time. I beg your pardon. It's gone to third. I thought it was Sands of Time. I'm not sure which horse it is. I'll have to get back to it later. On the top corner, 1,000 to go. Thesio leads the band. There goes the riderless horse. It might be number 19. Is it Eskimo Queen, is it? Is it the favourite that's gone? I thought it was number 9, Saddlecloth, but it might be 19. Down the side, it is. The favourite's gone. It's Eskimo Queen to the 800. Thesio led from the band. Sands of Time, Fuji Fantasy, followed by Fortin 1, Take the Plea, Danzabar, Karaji. Resolution, Cotton Fingers, followed by Aquarius. Further back is My Centurion, Ready When You Are, Volcanic Star. Then comes Sir Mione, Empire's Choice a long way back. And then comes King of the Nile. And last of all, Sophistication as they round the corner in the Derby, in a sensational Derby, into the straight. Thesio joined by Sands of Time, Take the Plea. Danzibar came up on the outside from Fortin 1. They're followed by Resolution, and Sir Mione and King of the Nile get to the outside to the 200. Thesio in front of Take the Plea. Danzibar, Resolution, and now Sir Mione is joining in quickly on the outside. Thesio, Take the Plea. Danzibar, Resolution, Sir Mione, Empire's Choice getting up on the fence. Sir Mione and Empire's Choice and Volcanic Star. The three of them hit the line, and Empire's Choice, I think Empire's Choice might have won the Derby, a nose through either Volcanic Star or Sir Mione. It's a photo for fourth. King of the Nile's prominent, and so too over near the inside is Thesio with Danzabar, Resolution. Behind those, Fortin 1, Aquarius, Sands of Time, Take the Plea, Sophistication, Ready When You Are, Sarah Time. A long way back is Cotton Fingers, Karaji, My Centurion. Last time is the band with Fuji Fantasy, and the favourite Eskimo Queen has come down in the back straight. Those horses close to the fence both finished over the top of it, namely Empire's Choice and Volcanic Star. Resolution just weakling or just been cut out there with the red cap to fourth.
Well, he had a lucky run through the running. He went through the worst going, but he did make up several lengths in the straight, and he just got there in the nick of time.
Okay. How high do you rate him, Bart? What's going to happen later in the year when the spring comes around?
Well, he's only getting better at distance, and I think he's got a good future.
He's still putting it together, you know. He's a bit of a trick. You've got to try and outsmart him, but he was really strong on the line today.
Here's Bart's horse, Empire's Choice. It was a keen finish. Thesio was there as well. There's a bit of nudging there. And yeah, they've shifted out. They've shifted out pretty close to the line there. Admittedly, most of that serious bump very well there, but just couldn't go with them in the last 50 metres or so. And
it will be dismissed, Matt.
Waiting for the what's that, Ronnie? It's been dismissed.
Sir Mione third. A protest was lodged, second against first over the last 100 metres. And we'll talk about that in just a sec, because we'll hear some.
And just here, he'll bump the other horse, Volcanic Star, right here, right in the shadows of the post. Obviously, it was too close to the line, and I think at the end of the day, Stewart's got the result right. I thought the run of the race was Sir Mione. He had to come to the wide part of the track for two reasons. Either Michael Rod thought it was best out there, and secondly, he doesn't like racing inside horses. He had 20 alley, went back the last, he went round the lot, he failed narrowly, and Volcanic Star, I guess, was the surprise of the race.
Damien Oliver's pretty clever at this sort of thing. He was continuing to hit the horse with a whip in the right hand, and he wasn't worried that the horse was rolling out, because he thought, by the time I contact the horse outside me, it's going to be I've either won it or lost it. So Damien's pretty clever at those sorts of rides, and I think he was quite happy for the horse to roll out.
Empire's Choice. He's been a bit of a dope, and Bart's had to get a handle on him. He's got him thinking right now, and I think he'll be a force in the spring. I know it's easy to get carried away with winter form, but he's always had the talent. Just a slow maturing horse, like his mother's assisted to Empire Rose, so he's got the pedigree to run 2 mile. I agree with Al. I think Sir Mione was the unlucky runner. The barrier beat him. He had to snag him at the start and just had to do too much work, but can't take anything away from the winner at the same time.
I'll tell you what,
he's a Derby winner now, and he certainly got the job done well there, and like we said before, I think he's going to be a force in the spring, Alf.
Well, he's got a fine. The top raider, of course, she's 20 points clear, about 4 or 5 lengths. Dan Lee, Rahib, Sequential Charm, 11, 1, 6 and 13. And through the market for the next on a beautiful sunny day, beautiful warm day here in Brisbane. The Queensland Guineas, Dan Lee up the top. There's a few tips around for it today, $9.50, but here she is, Gold Edition.
Coming into the Group 2 Queensland Guineas, and as expected, Gold Edition is the favourite, exactly the same on course as to what you're getting off course. second pick, well, it'd look to be Dan Lee, number 1. There is...
The gates open and they're off and racing. Lord Dan Lee missed it. He came out at the tail of the field. Gold Edition began brilliantly from out wide. Jardina's going fast with Maslin's Beach and Scenic Silver, but she'll lead them, Gold Edition. And through the first 200, Gold Edition a half to Jardine. Scenic Silver third. Rahib is rushing forward on the outside. Maslin's Beat back to fifth. They're followed by Lasseron, Sequential Charm, Prince Leo and Dan Lee's pratted out 3 deep going to the top corner. They're further referees inside Dan Lee. 1-0 Crikey in front of Bianca, Hollaback and Deloraine, Black Piranha and Antidotes 3 deep and last. They're coming to the bend, 500 to go. Gold Edition being held together by Johnny Powell, 2 lengths, Rahib. Scenic Silver third, Lasseron getting to the outside, Sequential Charm, Jardine and further back is Maslin's Beach, 400 to go and Rahib went up on the outside to join Gold Edition. Sequential Charm got the third, Jardine next, followed by Maslin's Beach and then Lasseron and Antidotes down the back, but Jardine and Sequential Charm have gone to the lead with 100 metres to go. Sequential Charm and Jardine. Sequential Charm's just in front of Jardine and Sequential Charm will win the guineas from Jardine. Tight for third, Dan Lee or Maslin's Beach. In front of Rahib, the next time Gold Edition. They're followed by Bianca, Lasseron, Antidotes.
Ready now?
Getting the money in the Queensland Guineas. Eagle Farm, there's the full set of totes. Fourth in the race was number 16 for first 4 punters. That was Maslin's Beach from the Anthony Cummings stable.
Boxed on really well, didn't it? Sequential Charm, Rexy Lip and Staffy Katsetis over Jardine and Dan Lee was third.
Yeah, she ran the mile out well. Sequential Charm, she's had victory over Gold Edition in the past and well ridden there. Jardine loomed up and looked the winner, but just wasn't good enough. Dan Lee struggles, gets into third place there. But surely she just doesn't run a mile, the filly. She travelled beautifully up front. Against her own age here, no excuses at all, except probably a little bit of dampness still in the track, but she's a sprinter, and we all know she's a sprinter. How far is this Winter Stakes next week?
14.
14, is it? Yeah, look, she's a chance. She's a chance, but...
Ron, one question. Did you think she'd lead possibly by 3 or 4 on straightening?
Of course. That's just her pattern. She likes to...
1,000 cent Diamond Deck, 1, 3, 2 and 12. All nice 2-year-olds, those ones. And if you're just joining us, Stephen Arnold, $1 million race for the 2-year-olds, and it's coming up next, right here on Sky. Here today, the TJ Smith. It's a race with a great history. It's been a great launching pad for young horses who've gone on to...
The gates open, off and racing. Kairos near the inside, one of the first to go. Master Assassin began quickly and Frosty's going for speed. And when they settle fully into stride, it's Frosty going to the lead. Now Master 700 from home in the TJ. And the leader Frosty a bit more than a length. Master Assassin's had a good run. Kairos third on the fence. Apasu fourth from Pride of Power. Kiki wide. 10% on the fence, followed by Kick and Chase and Trippets. And then King Dakar, Isolt and Diamond Deckers last as they corner. 4:20 to go. Frosty the leader, joined by Master Assassin. Apasu on the outside. Pride of Power came at them, followed by Kairos, Kiki, and further back is 10%. Frosty at the 250, joined by Master Assassin, and on the outside is Apasu, and Kiki is running home. Master Assassin and Apasu, they're together. Frosty fighting back, and Trippets getting up on the fence. Apasu on the outside is just in front. Trippets driving at it, but Apasu's too strong. Apasu, I think. Apasu might have just beaten Trippets. Master Assassin third. Kairos in a photo for fourth and had no luck with Frosty.
At this stage. Anthems for John Hawkes as a short price favourite that year. He's come back to claim it again for Clarity Connors today. 11, 8, 1 and 2 against...
Connors back in the Group 1 winners list. Well done, Clary, and Darren Beedman aboard over Trippets, a roughie, and Master Assassin third.
Yeah, Apasu, she deserved that. Beedman made a few little mistakes on her at a previous start, but she really appreciated the track drying out, and a good result for all concerned there. She was just in the right spot at the right time. They went awfully slow in this race. The back markers had no hope at all.
See, I went with you King Dakar. You told me it was the best thing on a racetrack. What was that about?
Well, hang on, Richard. Your turn's got to come yet. But however, yes.
Disappointing. I was disappointed because I backed him. But look, he got back in a slow.
And you tipped him to your mates, and we all backed him. And
You should have your own opinion. You should know that by now.
Tell me it was the best thing to ever go round.
Well, I tell you, look out for this horse in the spring. I spoke to Corey Brown after the race. He said he's a VRC Derby horse, this fella. He just doesn't...
Actually does look like a horse that'll get over a bit of a trip, doesn't he?
He just lost it when they sprinted, but maybe he's missing his blinkers, but I'm only making excuses for a beaten horse there.
Trippets was very good the start before. It had no luck at all, and having something each way, I thought just for a fleeting sec I was going to get something for me money.
Yeah, I think...
Farms the Brisbane Cup, Brave Lancer, Newport, Mandela and Zarvit, 14, 15, 3 and 16. And if you're just tuning in, the new rider for Ice Chariot, number 6, is Damien Oliver, replacing Jim Cassidy. And some guides didn't have number 14, Brave Lancer. Jim Byrne is the rider there. So that's the Brisbane Cup, 2,400 metres this year, and runners are just starting to come down into the mounting yard. It's 15 minutes away. By Sequential Charm for Starthy Katsidis, and the Group 1, the previous race, the TJ Smith, was taken out by Darren Beedman on board the Clary Connors trained Apasu. That brings us to the Brisbane Cup. They're moving in.
And they're racing. Oh, one went up in the air, Sculptor. Sculptor went straight up in the air, nearly dislodged the rider, and he's about 10 to 12 lengths off at the tail of the field. And when they settle fully into stride, it's Cole Stark dashing to the lead. Mandela's going to go through on the inside of Pay Me, and here's Game On, Gorgeous George, Dictator and Bicky Tin Blues coming over. Grand Zulu and Zavit behind those from Brave Lancer. Accumulate getting back on the Ice Chariot, going through towards the fence, and they're closely being followed then by Brave Lancer. So too Pay Me, then McCullough, Last Penathon, Lachlan River, Lillican, Newport, Ring of Fire, Scattergun and Sculptor. 700 Newport, Ring of Fire, Scattergun and Sculptor. 700 metres to go in the Cup. Cole Starter, half to Gorgeous George. Running third, Game On. Mandela's come away from the fence. He's about to launch his claim. Accumulates, getting a lovely run up on the fence, saving valuable ground from Biggie Tin Blues, Grand Zulu, and Ice Chariot staying on the rails. In the straight to the 400, Cole Start, Gorgeous George, joined by Game On. Mandela's called upon. Accumulates, had a lovely run. He gets to the outside at the right time, and then Ice Chariot followed by Newport to the 200. Game On the leader. Mandela, Accumulate, and Ice Chariot running home towards the fence. Game On the leader. Newport, Ice Chariot, Accumulates down the outside. Lillican is coming from absolutely nowhere. Newport got through. Lillican out wide. They hit it. It's a photo. It's a photo. Newport, all Lillican. The rider of Lillican thinks he's won. He's raised the whip, but we better hang on for the photo. Now, third's another print. Game On, Pentathon. There too is Ice Chariot, Accumulate. Grand Zulu, McCullough, last close up. Lachlan River, Mandela. Sculptor, the next time in the race, Ring of Fire, followed then by Zarvit, Gorgeous George. A long way back in the field, Cole Stark. Newport got up on the fence. The rider of Newport got up on the fence. The rider of Lillican, Lisa Crops, waved the whip over the line. She thinks she's won out wide on the track. It down. Is Lisa Crop right? Oh, gee, I can't tell from that. Oh, Ice Chariot's probably right. He doesn't know. Now the winner is number 15, Newport, on the insides lasted. Alan Robinson.
In the race was number 13, and that was Mercola Lass for Jason Taylor. And the first four on this occasion, $296,088. That's a blockbuster first four, that one.
There's a photo and a tidy, and Newport prevailed with Alan Robinson aboard over Lillican, and Ice Chariot was third, Ron.
Yeah, deceptive sort of a finish, wasn't it? And controversial as well, because Lisa Crop cops 3 months suspension here for going up before the line. It's a tricky one. I don't know what to think about this. I can understand it's a no-no to do it.
Well, if she goes up before the line, and the stewards believe...
I still think the horse has got momentum. I don't think it's costed any ground.
Well, if the stewards believe that it has cost it the win, then the amount it costs is not just what it costs the jockey, but what about the trainer, the owner, the breeders, everybody who owns a relative to it.
Are we convinced it's cost it the race?
Well,
but why do it?
Why
do it?
Why do it? Exactly right. Why do it?
But luckily she comes in, does she?
No.
Now, the owners of Newport would like us to reminisce on
racing. Do.
Oh, would you? Well, here we go. On Racing Retro last week.
This will be good.
Here we go.
That's Kid Charm in the middle, the Greys, Newport, and Zarvik on the...
I think they're just handicappers, Ronnie.
I think they're just... There's no depth to that form. In saying that...
They should be heading south to have some fences put in front of them, those horses.
I think Newport's well suited with a lot of speed.
You are kidding, Richard.
Come back and bite one.
Well, you don't.
Newport pulls hard.
Obviously, you don't work well in front of a crowd. Zavit is a horse that's certainly on the up for Anthony Cummings.
And don't forget, Newport was a winner over the Flemington Carnival as well.
What am I going to do tomorrow? If Zavit and Newport are fighting it out with 100 to go, what am I going to say?
Get on the
Coming to the last.
Over they go.
Over they go, over the last.
Well.
What about it? He'd make a fantastic hurdler.
Oh, yeah.
What are you saying?
The owners want me to assure you that they don't know how high Newport can jump, but they can't jump over their money.
Good luck to him too. Oh, I reckon. Well, look, good luck to him. He fell in there. He probably should have got beaten by the outside.
Oh,
That's why she should have got the 3 months. You ought to give it 2 years.
To Stakes, the Queensland Breeders' Winter Stakes over the 1,400 metres. And there's the Champion Filly Gold Edition heading the betting at $3.30. Aquadamore having its last race start back from retirement at $9.10. Nova Star also at $9.10.
Last go at them here, the Group 1 fillies and mares Winter Stakes. I've gone, look, I'm staying with the mare, filly I should say. 18, 6, 19, 20 is the way I'm going.
1,400 metres. They're racing now. What a start. Villa Bled near the inside. One of the first to go. Going fast. Fashions are feeling magically. And there goes Gold Edition and Jardine through the first 200. And Gold Edition is the leader. Fashions of Field's going to sit outside it. Jardy's wide. The Nova Star followed by Hustler Chow Chow. Then comes Rosa's Spur on the rail. Sequential Charm and G.I. Jane are wide. Followed by Vitesse Dane. Hannah Ross is a long way back. And so too is Fritz's Princess. Followed by More Than Lucky, and then Vega's Showgirl and Amana is last of all. Over the crossing, 600 to go. Gold Edition the leader. Out by a length. Fashions of Field second from G.I. Jane. Chinkway Cheto, Jardine followed by Villa Bled. Downing Stay to the inside, and Aquadamora Martini for Russell called upon. Gold Edition's out to the middle of the track, and at the 400 she's the leader. Fashions of Field, G.I. Jane, Aquadamora, Jardine going up towards the fence, and then Sequential Charm, but Fashions of Field out in the middle of the track, went to the lead. Jardine, and now Nova Star's coming through in the middle. Nova Star is bursting through after Fashions of Field. Fashions of Field, Nova Star. Nova Star got up and won the Winter Stakes from Fashions of Field. Photo third, Jardine or Doubting. Then Aquadamore, Sequential Charm, Hannah Rossa, G.I. Jane Amana. Rosa's Spur Martini for us, followed by Magically. More Than Lucky. The next time Villa Bled, Vitesse Dane. Further back in the field, Fritz's Princess, Chinkway Cheto. Gold Edition has finished a mile back in the field, and last time is Vegas Showgirl. Nova Star, I think, has just got in here. Yep, big race at the Gold Coast, the Silk Stocking, and then she'd won the QTC Cup. She was unlucky, a little unlucky in the Stradbroke not to run the place. But Casitas was able to drive her through today. And
so it moves in.
To full honours to Nova Star, and that's, I think, 7 out of 28 now for it.
Yeah, look, she's just found a purple patch of form. She won the QTC Cup, and then she ran terrific race in the Stradbroke, and she comes out and wins the Group 1 here, and full credit to the trainer for peaking her up at the right time of year. How big a heart has she got, Fashions of Field? Look, she didn't have really the perfect preparation along with the stablemate Aquadamore, but their class shone through there. I just hope they don't break her heart now, because she hasn't won for a while, and she's had some tough battles, Fashions of Field. It's a funny filly, this third one, Jardine. Look, she cruises up, and I think she's just got a short, sharp sprint. I think she will be better next year. And well, Michael, Gold Edition, I think the writing was on the wall after the Guineas.
Well, I mean, between the 9th and the 11th, the 2 Eagle Farm runs she had, she raced over 3,000 metres in 2 runs. I mean, she's a sprinter, basically. Then Ronnie gave her another 12 days, tried to freshen her up, and she just didn't have anything left in the tank, the poor bugger. She needs a spell. I don't think you can back a horse up like her, racing her over 1,400 and 1,600 metres in 2 days when she's basically a sprinter. I thought Dowding's run was very good in that race.
How was the track playing?
I think you had to be wide.
Yeah.
I think you had to be wide.
Congratulate Kelly Schweppes as well. He's been training for nearly 25 years, and there he was celebrating his first Group 1 with Nova Star, who probably didn't put him of next year. Aquadamore has definitely run her last race. Michael Kerwin told me, don't worry about Gay over in Ascot talking up to the Kilmore owners. I've made the decision. She's going to win Costa del Lago and...
From this Tuesday on Sky from 11 p.m. for 5 consecutive nights, we'll have racing from Royal Ascot, hosted by Matt Browning and, of course, Andrew Lejeune. And the King's Stand is the big race on Tuesday night. Miss
race for 3-year-olds, but I think she's on the improve. And Takeover Target, he doesn't know how to run a bad race, does he?
Global, they're very interested in staging a top-class turf sprint, and no doubt they'd have oodles of money to put into it, which is great. And we're also talking with the committee, the current committee, with a view towards integrating the Darley July Cup at the Newmarket.
Ascot beckons with Miss Andretti. Well, look, we've been planning for this for some months now, and we're excited to be here. And it's been a long.
Where do you think you stand with those horses for a start?
Well, I think a 1,000-metre record is exceptional. She's unbeaten at 1,000 metres. Magnus is a very fast horse. The other two horses, Takeover's been showing signs that he probably wants a bit further. And
this is the second race, of course, part of the Global Sprint Challenge, the Kingston Stakes. Takeover Target, very solid at 11-2, as is Bentley Biscuit.
Set to go. They're racing. Good even dispatch two on the near side. Dandy Man, one of the first away. Takeover Target in the centre, going fast. Morehouse Lad over on the far side in company with Desert Lord. They're blazing a trail over there. Magnus takes a set just in behind them. They're stretched right across the track here, and more of them are grouping up over on the far side. Desert Lord leads on the near side. Morehouse Lad. They're a couple of lengths clear of Magnus, who's right up there with Dazed and Amazed. Just behind them too is Takeover Target. Dandy Man on the near side, coming up there alone or just with one behind him, and the rest are grouping up out of the centre. Racing up now with a furlong and a half left to go. Anybody's race here. Magnus has now struck the front for Damien Oliver. Miss Andretti going with him. Miss Andretti and Magnus settle down to fight it out. The two Aussies are now Takeover Target. Dandy Man is finishing fast as well. Miss Andretti's digging deeper, and Miss Andretti, she's a champion. She goes on to win the King's Stand. Second on the near side, Dandy Man. Third just behind the Magnus. Fourth Takeover Target. A 1-3-4 for Australia. Enticing behind them from Beauty is Truth, and well back in the field. Bentley Biscuit never got going at all. He's second last, and Dazed and Amazed is last. A 1-3-4 for Australia. And Miss Andretti, trained by Lee Friedman and ridden by Craig Newitt. All horizons in Australia. 5 Melbourne Cups, 4 Caulfield Cups, 4 Golden Slippers, 2 Cox Plates. Now look at him. There he is in the pink tie. There he is in the pink tie. And absolutely delighted, Miss Andretti tucked in behind and then ran on.
Tell us what that was like.
Look.
And Aussie speechless. This says it all almost.
I've lived all my life to do this. It's an enormous thrill for me. All right, Mum.
We'll let you go and talk to the jockey, and welcome back the filly. That was very, very well done. A second winning favourite, Miss Andretti, 3-1 favourite, wins the King's Stand, and Betfred are likely to be very much inundated with a 7th.
And I think it's just a marvellous thing that we can come here and compete now, and we'll continue to come and do that, and hopefully with some horses over a bit more ground next time.
What are the main challenges? We'll let you go and talk to the jockey, and welcome back the filly. That was very, very well done.
Wow. I mean, what an emotional moment for him, eh?
Yeah.
What an gee, that was just something else.
Well, she definitely cemented Horse of the Year there. She's an absolute freak sprinter on hard tracks, obviously. Absolute freak sprinter on hard tracks, obviously. How many track records does she hold? She holds 5, is it?
Oh, there you go. Thanks, Andrew.
5 track records. That's unbelievable for a mare like her, and she certainly has to be one of the best sprinters we've produced for a long, long time.
She certainly is. He's a bonding horse, Takeover Target, isn't he?
He's a beauty, yeah.
He just keeps backing up and producing.
And Miss, what happened to Bentley Biscuit?
Yeah, well, they say he jarred up on the hard track there.
Let us go to the Group 1 Ascot Gold Cup now. We've seen first and second place getters here in this part of the world too.
Like the last drop, Finalmente. Here's Yates, produced on the outside by Mick Canan. Ranges up, grabs the lead in a couple of bounds. Followed then by Le Miracle, Finalmente. Geordie Land being produced very late, running on well from Madame and Cherry Mix. But Yates is two in front of the furlong. Now Geordie Land is putting in his final sprint. Yates in front by about a length and a half. He's wandering a little bit off a straight course. Canan senses Geordie Land, rides him out and goes on to win his second Gold Cup. Yates back-to-back winners of the...
Yates there, $1.70, defeating Geordie Land and Miracle.
Not that you can bet in the run, but you wanted to be on him. Like I saw one of the close-ups of him about 1,200 metres out, and he was going like he was skipping one beat to every other runner's two. He was just going through the motions, waiting to be let rip, wasn't he, Ron?
Yeah, look. Did we see the best of him in Melbourne?
No, I don't think so. I don't think you saw the best of the rides either. I mean, the English jocks come out here and they just don't ride well.
That's our Michael.
They don't. I mean, they ride in those big...
That's our Michael.
They don't. I mean, they ride in those big spacious tracks and they've got 3 horses between each of them and there's no dramas. You get them in here and a bit of tight racing and they absolutely pack their pants.
Oh, you can't.
Absolutely belting down. This is a serious shower of rain. This will start to get into the ground. It will make a difference, and it will certainly make a difference to the runners for our next race, which is the Golden Jubilee. And people huddling under umbrellas, getting inside wherever they can, hiding under trees as well. The weighing room is absolutely packed down here. The paddock is deserted. Now, this next race, I think, is one of the highlights of the week. Not just because it's a next race, I think, is one of the highlights of the week. Not just because it's a Group 1 sprint, but because we have in it 3 horses trained in Australia. We saw them in action in the King's Stand on Tuesday when Miss Andretti broke the track record. She was convenienced by them.
There's one thing for sure, they will not be breaking any track records now.
The British train...
Jim, Miss Andretti out to 9-4, having opened up at 13-8. Amadeus Wolf fairly strong in the betting, 13-2 from 7s. Also strong in the betting is Magnus, 10-1 into 8-1, and Soldier's Tale, 16.
And they're racing. Out of the centre, Asset began well. Magnus on the far side began brilliantly as well, and Rising Shadow up there in the early stages. Presto Shinko not that far away. Up there too is Amadeus Wolf on the near side. Faya Jag is somewhere settled. It's Rising Shadow out in the centre, one of the leaders. Magnus is right up there. Miss Andretti is running third. Just behind them is Asset, followed by Soldier's Tale, and further back Amadeus Wolf. Right there on the near side is Faya Jag, and Hamoudi is not that far away either. Further back Al Quasi right there in the centre as they charge up past halfway in the Golden Jubilee, and Takeover Target is now raced up into the lead. Takeover Target raced up into the lead. Takeover Target on the near side, white sleeves and cap leads Magnus. It's an Australian 1-2 at the moment. Red Club's coming into it as well. Asset behind them, followed by Soldier's Tale, and Borderless Scott is battling on, and they're clear that of bygone days, but it's Takeover Target near side. Red Club's far side from Asset. Magnus has dropped away. Soldier's Tale running on. Miss Andretti won't run a place. 100 yards left to go. Takeover Target grabbed by Red Clubs. Soldier's Tale and Asset coming hard, but the Aussie's digging deep. Takeover Target, he won't be beaten. It's full. It's close. It's close between Takeover Target and Soldier's Tale. A photo. Just behind them is Asset, followed by Red Club's Drayton. Further back then is Baltic King. They were followed by Bygone Days, Borderless Scott. Miss Andretti and Magnus have finished well back. And her move at the far side, a bob of the heads here. Look at them go to the line. And it's Soldier's Tale. This is the BBC's line.
Just beaten right on the post. What had it won everywhere bar the post?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Brave performance by Takeover Target. This was run on a pretty wet track. They had a lot of rain at Royal Ascot, and I think that put paid to Miss Andretti and Magnus, although there was this theory that Magnus had handled the going, but it's a different sort of deep, wet tracks there, but this winner is an interesting horse. He's only having his 8th start, this Soldier's Tale. He's a 6-year-old. He ran 4th in the July Cup last year, so he's obviously a horse that's had a lot of problems, and yeah, relatively lightly raced, but relish the footing here.
Right. Ron, do you think Miss Andretti failed on the wet or failed to back up?
Look, I think she failed on the wet. She was never on the bit. She only had one prior run on a real wet.
She had I had her having 2 runs.
I had her running on the. I only had a 1 on a slow, and that was the Oakley Plate where she ran 5th.
Yeah.
And Takeover Target run 3rd.
He's Secret, very smart horse this. He's very, very exciting. He's all the rage at $1.30, and on course he is pretty much matching that. He's been the short elect right throughout.
Signal give it, they're racing. They've jumped away at a pretty good line. He's gone away okay. Lucky Secret, Black Bubble, Mrs. Waters out fast. Lucky Secret's right there with them. And Strategy G getting up on the inside. Go Forever, Wishmaster. Up to the bend, Mrs. Waters and Black Bubble. He comes to the outside on Lucky Secret now, rounding up the leaders, turning in. They're 3 lengths to Snappy Tom and Strategy G. But Lucky Secret quickly canters up to Mrs. Waters and Black Bubble. And he lets it out now, and away it goes. 5 on the trot coming up, unbeaten here at Moonee Valley. Lucky Secret is racing away from Black Bubble. Corporal Nadeem running on. Lucky Secret in a hand canter, 2.5 Corporal Nadeem. Black Bubble 3rd. 4th's either Snappy Tom or Wishmaster, who made ground, a gap to Double Classic. Then Mrs. Waters, Go Forever. Further back, he's a serious galloper. Lucky Secret, that was easy work.
Last Monday, Moonee Valley, and Lucky Secret here, it's unbeaten now.
Graham, it made, look, admittedly, an inferior field to it beat first up, made them look very much second rate. Like, this no sooner went to the front and Danny Brereton started sitting up and taking Holden. I think we all had a fairly good opinion of him pre-race and in terms of what we think he can do. But look, I think he's the serious deal. I think he's probably a genuine Group 1 horse. Does he
goes to Moonee Valley. He goes to the Valley for another race. The Sir John Monash in 6 weeks is the race thereafter.
Race 8, and this very, very classy galloper, Lucky Secret, is all the rage at $1.70. 5 starts, 5 wins is his record. From the Tony Valley. Secret out in the centre of the line. Brilliant Lad, Alinsky wide out, and Spinks in the pinkish colours fast into stride. The fence, Go Bendigo. Lucky Secret's 3 wide outside the 2 leaders. Straight legs the fence, and between those pushing through Black Bubble. 2 lengths further back on the fence in the green colours, Go Bendigo. Oh, gee, Burton swinging against this big time, this favourite Lucky Secret. And then further out on the track, Snappy Tom trying to run on from Corporal Nadeem. Down to the 300, Lucky Secret. He's yet to go for him. He clicks him up hands and heels. Snappy Tom on the outside, second up from a year break going after Lucky Secret. Lucky Secret's holding him at the moment. Snappy Tom can't get him. Battling away on the inside is Straight Legs, but Lucky Secret gives him another touch-up. Goes home and wins it well. Snappy Tom good second. Brilliant Lad late on the scene, 3rd from either Straight Legs, Spinks and Master. Lucky Secret, he was travelling well. He just didn't let go on the heavy track as well as he would on a drier surface. I've got no doubt about that. But he's all class. He's 6 for 6, $1.70, $1.30.
Let's have a look. You were talking about the American Oaks. Now, Animado, this was around just a short time ago.
Just little to the outside. Val Benny's got to go from there. So does Rope Decollete, and they run to the top of the stretch, and Penny Raid has taken over the lead. It is Penny Raid in front. Animado, Val Benny splits horses, and here she comes with a big run. Val Benny just engages Penny Raid. Penny Raid just in front. Val Benny to the outside. Animado 3 deep. Penny Raid, Val Benny, Penny Raid wins. The 6th American.
Well, Michael Rod gave Animado a beautiful run in transit, was 5th, beautiful, one out from, it was a fabulous run. I must confess, going down the back straight and coming up to that far turn, I thought she was going to be right.
She looked to win it, didn't she? But look, it's very hard to travel, and there were reports that she'd finding it hard to settle in. She was off her feet a little, so she did us proud, and look, he rode it beautiful. It was a slowly run race.
It was. It wasn't what we expected, where, you know, big pace from the United States and that, but they went along at quite a leisurely pace, and then on the point of the corner I thought, oh, Animado's travelling really well, but Val Benny, the one with the blue and white striped sleeves there, hoop sleeves there, came out inside her and was always going a little better, and the leader just kept going. Todd Pletcher there, who's one of the big trainers in the United States, training the winners. They're up to it. Australian horses are up to it.
As we've seen in
Brisbane, while we
at the same time every year, and he gives it his all. Last year he couldn't hold out Saspy. This year he's got a new kid on the block to contend with as well, but you got.
And in fact, the trainer of the favourite, Lucky Secret, is 5 Saspy, been supported on course, of course, last year's winner.
Yeah, really liked him here last year, and he got to the line strongly, and then.
They've never been beaten. Lucky Secret, odds on favourite, $2 on Super Tab, $1.60 New South Wales, $2.30 Unitab, on course around $1.80 right now. Be hard to mark against him.
I know that this is significantly harder than what he
listed. Sir John Monash Stakes. Top of the market is Lucky Secret at 1 on the New South. Best tote is with Lucky Secret on the Unitab accounts.
Yeah, Super Elegant, the old bloke, going for his third, open $10. They've just pushed him out slightly to 12.
Signal given there racing. Wasn't brilliant out, Lucky Secret. Mustering speed now. Miss Mooney bounces in front. Lucky Secret quickly goes up outside it with Marwin Gold. Live in Vain coming over from Super Elegant. Further back on Elise Saspy stands out from Vormista. And Saspy last of all. They come up towards the 650 metre mark. And it's on the inside, Miss Mooney. Lucky Secret outside it. 3 out, Marwin Gold, Pink Jacket. Then Live in Vain out deep as they turn for home. Lucky Secret goes to Miss Mooney. When they turn in now with about 350 to go and takes the lead. Lucky Secret a length in front now, accelerating 2 lengths to Miss Mooney. Onley gets it to the clear from Live in Vain. Saspy back last and under the whip in front of it stands out, but Lucky Secret going for the 7 and at the 150 accelerates 3 lengths in front. Live in Vain on a lead, followed by Vormista and stands out, but Lucky Secret gives it a crack behind the saddle, but it still gets there. Lucky Secret 3/4 to either Vormista, Live in Vain and on a lead, and a great go for the Miners. Then further back in the race came stands out, then a Pacer well back. Saspy never came into it. Back to the tail, Marwin Gold, Miss Mooney. They knocked up badly from the turn, and old Super Elegant is last of all.
Well, he's a star. I'll tell you why he's a star. He's broken the track record on a slow 6 here for the 1100 metres. If that's confirmed, 1:1.4. Record's 1:1.86. We've upgraded to a dead 5. Well, Intelligent Star ran this record. It's extraordinary. He had 4 and 10. I said to Tony yesterday, I don't think we've got to the bottom of him yet. We don't know where his level's at. And even today with that record time, a dead 5.
The track is racing remarkable. I mean, we had a lot. It's dead, but I mean, the time he's run probably just justifies and confirms all the thoughts that we've had about the horse. So
I said to you yesterday.
Yeah, Dan Brereton and Tony Vassell, Lucky Secret, and as Alf said, it bled, which is very sad. So it's out for a while. Live in Vain second, Onley third, and you couldn't miss the run of the 4th place getter, Alf.
No, look, there's a couple of good performances in this, but start off with the winner, like he was slow to get...
Just on the winner, Graham, Lucky Secret. Now, it'll have further tests this week, but at this stage, Tony Vassell has to take the horse away from Caulfield for 2 months of its 3-month ban. He'll give it 2 or 3 weeks off now, goes to the beach with Kelvin Burke and does a lot of work, and they have not given up of running in the Moyle or the Schweppes on Cox Plate Day. If it won that race, it would still get to Hong Kong, but it has to win that race. That is the key to it. Vormista has a slight ease up now, goes to the Manicato. Live Harada Sun, and Super Elegant, well, it ran its last race. It's now been retired.
Some odd things around the rules around the rules around bleeders. I mean, if that horse bleeds from 1 nostril instead of 2, he's not a bleeder. But
are you sure?
Well, yes, exactly. That's the rules.
Yeah.
If you can bleed from 1 nostril, not 2, you're not a bleeder. So the fact that he's bled out of both nostrils, does it matter? I mean, the act of bleeding is the blood entering the lungs. And does it matter whether it comes out of 1 nostril or 2? I mean, it's just...